the survey team that you've joined, Talith would have joined because she's just looking for something to do. Um, and Dugat is indebted to Talith, as mentioned before, and Darna pretty much just hangs out with Dugat all the time, anyways. She was pretty much the one who didn't have like a piggybacking method or something strange about his entry into the group. Typhon was interested in going, but after his last bout and being in a lot of water, his arm has kind of like locked up, and so he's having some work done on it.
Oh, that arm's going to give him shit.
It's always going to be the excuse as to why he's not in the game. Yeah, Searshaw, after last, she's going to be the excuse trying to work out the. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, Searshaw. Perfect. A little light, but I mean, your voice is usually light, anyways.
Oh, I can turn it up on my end.
Okay, great. So that said, Uru basically leads the survey team. If you'd like to do some getting to know you, introductory stuff, that's fine. I don't have much in the way of setup to do. I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. So if you guys want to do some just introductory stuff. Since we haven't seen Darna or Dugat or Talith in a while, and you guys haven't seen the other two, I'll start with Chris. Describe Dugat to the others.
Dugat is a half-orc human, really large axe. Kristen's character is Demon Bite. Demon Bite would definitely recognize him.
That's not Talith is her character.
Talith. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Demon Bite's just what she goes on by on the internet.
Sorry, I was reading the thing on the chat.
It's okay. Those of you who aren't changed or new in it, the method that you want to do there, go up to the top right. There's a cog. If you click that, it'll allow you to change your display name, put your character's name, and in parentheses, your name. But yeah, half-orc barbarian, not green-skinned at all, bit of a mohawk, big axe, tattoos, cool guy.
With Talith, she'll definitely notice that he does look different, though. His eyes are a little more sunken in, and he's lost some of his muscle. Just looks kind of strung out a little bit, and glassy eyes.
Okay, and then we'll go ahead and let Kate, not in the meeting. No, in Roll20. But that's fine too, I guess. I don't know how you did that with the instructions I gave you, but that's amazing. Tell us about Darna.
She's small. She's a halfling. She wears bright yellow and blue clothing. She does not blend into her environment very well. I have lost my character sheet. I have to find it.
It's in the last place you put it.
Yep. I am a monk. I don't know. Yeah. I'm pretty quiet. I stay to myself.
Despite her bright colors and appearance, her cloak every so often, just in like the scintillation of the light, seems to just disappear or blend in with the background. You're a pretty wise guy, savvy as to some stuff about elves. It looks like an elvish cloak, and she doesn't seem to be making any sound with her footfalls, and she's got red boots on. Even more bright colors, but you would notice that the make of them is boots of Elvenkind, specifically of the summer house of Corchet. And unlike other halflings, she doesn't seem to be as slow paced despite her small legs. She seems to be a bit fleet of foot, not just the monk portion. She's a river folk halfling, which are a little faster on their feet. And then she hasn't come back, so I'll just do a quick descriptor for Talith. Red hair, decent build, definitely has a wild look to her. Her her hair is just a wild mess. She has weird points to her ears and an almost feral kind of looking mouth. And bit to her, Uru, as kind of a wild person yourself, you would recognize her as what's known as a shifter, which is basically a lycanthrope touched, whereas they're plain touched like the Aasimar. She has some form of lycanthropy in her history. She has a big hammer and a bow and a cool set of bracers. And yeah, the hammer is brand new. You would have actually been the one who gave it to her on Christmas. By the way, for the Chodies, Kate, you got a cat. Let you breathe into the water. And then Chody, you got a. What did I give you?
I can't see my character either, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, Pierrot of Health. Pierrot of Health. Pierrot. I don't know how that works.
Carrot?
It's like a necklace of health.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
But it's shaped like a carrot.
It is. It's now shaped like a carrot. That's canon. But yeah, besides the carrot shape to it, it makes you immune to disease.
Okay.
Okay, cool. You guys travel for some time, just a very short while, and head to a channelway that's not being used, that doesn't have water flowing through it. And after progressing just a short while, Chi, you remember exactly how this went. The air becomes a bit more stale. The slipperiness of the aboleth's presence is no longer something that you're dealing with, and you come through to the channelway to the point where you see the dead tiefling.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
I go and check for life signs.
Oh, it's dead. It's really dead.
It's really dead.
In fact, right up here is something that'll make all of us really dead.
But the tiefling's been dead for some time.
Do you know what's ahead of us?
Yes, it's some sort of magical construct type thing that's about 15 foot tall and hits like a boulder.
Now, out of character real quick, John, how many of those potions would I be carrying on me? My good ones?
Sure. Before you would have been migrated out, you would have been able to make a total of 4 of them.
Okay.
And then in the downtime that you've been here, you've probably been able to make, just with the components that you've had available to you, 2. So a total of 6.
And how long have I been going down here?
So you've been down in the caves for about 7 days. But like I was saying, like in that 7 days time, with the amount of materials you've been able to gather, you've only been able to make 2. So you have a total of 6.
But I'm saying my character would be using them. He's addicted to them.
Oh,
so
no.
He would be using them.
Sure. No, so you've been, instead of just straight drinking them to try and like keep yourself from going nuts, you've had a 7th one that was kind of one of the older ones that was more potent that you've just been sipping on and trying to like.
Okay.
You're jacked, but you're not. Yeah.
Got it.
And also, for fun, roll a d100.
Who?
Chris. One second. One second.
Well, this looks like it's going to be a great start already.
Yeah.
That's like high numbers are good numbers, right?
Can be.
We'll see.
You get a free magic item. That's what that is.
I don't know if drinking a potion is ever going to make him
Turn
happy.
into a rock.
Or a magic item that's free. 89?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so during your just time as you've been sipping the drink, it got really just enticing for you to drink it towards the end this morning. And after you did so, you got kind of sick. You started vomiting. Roll a d4.
You said that I'm immune to poisons.
No, I'm aware. It's still just. It doesn't feel like it's a disease. It feels like You just got sick because of the potion. So yeah,
You said roll a d4.
Yeah. So just a stream, like a necklace of gems, comes out of your throat. You throw this up. You presume that the gems are probably worth a gold piece each. They're not very well cut or crafted, but you hurl up this this string of gemstones that's about 30 gemstones long.
Sweet.
You need to drink some more of that.
Just keep drinking it.
I pocket what I can. It's a very unceremoniously thing.
Sure.
Focusing more on the drink.
Yeah, polish them up of your saliva, and then that was when in the morning before you left, and then you guys gathered up and headed on down. Now, Chi has basically told you at this point, up ahead there's a thing that hits like a dump truck, and there's a dead tiefling that they've already inspected. It's been dead there for a while. The things that you guys will see and should be able to see is there are 2 ledges that are about 20 feet up off of the ground. You're in a channelway. And then crossing over top of the channelway that you're in, connecting those 2 ledges is a bridge. However, the bridge is rather new looking. It looks like it's basically in the middle, kind of connected with crystals, just very, very faintly. There's a pile of crystals and rocks on the ground beneath it.
Yeah, if you keep following this down at ground level, we're going to run into that construct.
But yeah, Chi, you would know that that bridge was broken out and landed on the construct, but for some reason the bridge is returned.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
So Chi, I got a quick question for you. Whereabouts did you explore down here, and where did this construct come from?
We made it to the end of this tunnel, which is probably another 150 meters. And I'm thinking he dropped down because we heard him thump. He told us we had 10 seconds to leave. Nobody could make up their mind, and then he hit me really hard.
Okay.
All right. Do you think we should sneak on the lower level, or do any of you think we should go up and sneak?
The lower level has nothing except for a dead end. So if we're going to go, we need to go up.
Perfect. Up and sneak. That's a great idea, I think.
Okay. Everybody go ahead and make a perception check as you're kind of approaching the ledges. And I know Kristen's having computer issues, so I'll go ahead and roll for her.
I did really well.
Get him out of the way now.
Okay. Let me go ahead and... Okay. She did not do as well. The only one who actually sees it is Dugat. Dugat, up on the ledge to the south, you see a just shadow of a thing kind of lingering over the edge. You've seen something like this in camp, hanging out with a tiefling bard named Malek, but you haven't really looked at it up close in person, and this is also, you're not really seeing it that close either. But from what you see, it's a small, round metal orb with an orange, glass facade in the front that seems to be glowing just lightly, and it's kind of staring at you with its big orange eye from up there. You see it. What do you want to do once you see it?
I want to act like I don't and try to let the people know. Stealthily, I guess.
Okay. Everybody make an insight check. No idea, no idea. No idea.
Yeah, kill that thing. I
Um,
remember that thing from
Uru,
last time.
he's doing kind of like a strange half-Orcian kind of like gesture that is like if you've ever seen like the new that Force Awakens movie when Han Solo's kind of doing the thing and Finn's confused. Everybody's confused and wondering why he's bobbing his head and it's the way he's doing it. But you understand and you can actually look up and see the creature. Unless you have ranged weapons, it's well out of range. It's 20 feet up, just lingering on the ledge there. Do you want to point it out to everybody, or do you want to try and keep stuff as well?
Who, me?
Jeremy.
This is something I would have heard about in camp, potentially, of being part of the arm. All right, as soon as I see it, I'm just going to yell, danger, immediately go into a rage, and I'm going to try and go and catch that little piece of junk.
Okay. If that's the case, Darna, do you have a ranged weapon? I forget.
I think I have a sling.
Sling? Okay. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and loose a shot at it, you can.
I see
I got
nothing.
my
I'm in
hammer.
complete darkness.
Okay. You don't have a light source, and you are normal vision. So I'll assume you grabbed one of the...
Okay.
There's ever-burning...
Cast light on something she
Let's
got.
say I have a torch.
There's ever-burning torches back at camp, too. So one way or another, you're emitting torch-like light. Okay.
Yes, I have a sling and sling bullets.
I have my hammer.
Okay. So anybody who wants to take a range attack, go ahead and do so now. It'll have cover because of the ledge, but besides that, it's free game. Talith will quickly string or like pull her bow and fire it. She fires after Kate. Kate, click the hit. Like you see how it says hit underneath your sling? Did you do that? And that's what it did.
I hit my sling.
Yeah, but if
and that's what it did.
Okay, underneath where it says sling, you see how it says hit colon. Yeah, if you click the word hit there, it'll actually
Just did.
it'll roll. It should roll dice. No, on in the chat. Sorry.
It just does that.
That is weird. That is weird. Well, Tomb does at least 1 damage. That's fine, and it's enough to damage it. And the next attack coming through is that arrow, and it'll kill it. You seem to break it. Pieces of its legs and such fall down to the ground. The eye orb has an arrow stuck in it and a rock kind of ringing around in it, and it kind of just rolls off the ledge.
Okay, grab this thing. That was in one of the slots on that automaton construct thing. Let's grab it and take it back.
We were just going to palm it and see if it reacts at all?
No, it's dead. It's smaller than a basketball, but bigger than like a baseball. It's somewhere in between those two. The legs kind of snapped off of it. One of them still dangling from it, but basically it's just kind of broken apart. The arrow went right through the glass of the eye, and the rock kind of like actually went into it first, and it's kind of rattling around in there.
All right, I just give it a quick little shake, and then I'm going to put it into the bag.
Okay. Cool deal. Okay, so you have the 2 ledges on the side, and the pathway continuing on, so do what you like.
Can I attempt to climb the ledge closest to me where I had seen the little orb?
Go ahead and make an athletics check. Yeah. Despite the salty nature of it and like the way that the stone, the crystal portions of it kind of brittle and break in your hand, you manage to get yourself up there, up onto the ledge. Once you make it to the ledge, you can see across the bridgeway a bit. It looks like there's a landing on the other side that kind of leads into a deeper crevasse on the eastern wall. And on the side that you're on, it looks like there's 2 passageways and a ledge path that leads south.
All right. I'm not noticing anything alive, hostile, or anything like that.
This place is as still as the grave. The only sounds that you're hearing are the sounds coming from the people below. The one thing you do notice, though, is that the sounds, even the most minute sounds that they're making down there, are very audible up where you're at.
All right. I'm going. Is there a place to tie a rope and to sling it down to everyone else where I am?
You can do what the other party did and tie it to the bridge, or there's probably there's no real surfaces up there besides yourself that you could tie it to.
All right. I will tie the rope to myself.
Okay. Who wants to go up first?
I will.
Okay. With his help, you don't need to make a check. You can go ahead and put yourself up there. And once up to the top, Kate, what would you like to do? There's a bridge and 2 passages, or 2 holes and a path to the south.
I will go towards this first passage to the right, but I want to wait until other people get up here.
Gotcha. So when you get in there, if you kind of look inside, you'll see that there's a desk, and then on just to the side of that, there's another desk. It looks like there might have been books or something on these desks, but they've since been removed. So there's kind of like a layer of salt and dust, and then there's like a very thin layer of salt and dust that's book shaped.
I got my rope I can send up.
Well, Uru sent down a regular line, so you don't have to pull out the cool rope if you don't want to.
Okay.
I'll hold the rear and let everybody else go up.
Okay, Talith will go up next. Easy middle ground. And she'll kind of stay on guard, her bow at the ready.
All right, Mr. Metal, you coming up?
Yep, looks like he's popped up. And Dugat pops up as well. So real quick, so Kate's looking in there. Kristen is holding kind of a defensive posture with the bow. Toe, and she gets up. What is he doing?
I'm watching the end of the damn tunnel.
Okay. It looks like you could easily cross the bridge. It does appear to be sturdy despite having been formed recently.
All right, I'll go ahead and go across it.
Okay. And then, Chris, you see the paladin kind of march across the bridge despite his weight and plate armor. He's wearing dark plate armor. He is able to cross it without it breaking or shattering. A bit of salt kind of brushes from the bottom when he passes over the middle, just because it's kind of got a divide in it still, but he's able to pass just fine. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna walk over here to this room and look inside.
Okay, same thing as the one that she's in, except one less desk, and the books look like they've been removed very recently.
I let everyone else know it seems like someone has been here recently.
Cheat, you would recall Malek when he was running dash sprint away from the creature to safety. He did have some books and scrolls on his person, like in his arms.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if I actually knew that or not. So. Yeah, we had one of our group that went through that room.
Okay. I will then go ahead and follow the paladin.
Okay. Taking the lead, Chi, you see that there are a couple of stalactites on the ceiling. Look like they're mostly crystalline forms and some stone. But directly across from you, there is a large stone door that is slightly ajar. And it's a very dwarvish looking door. It seems to have some script on it. It does look like it's Davic in origin, so the alphabet of the dwarves.
Okay, I read dwarvish. So.
Okay. Inside, or on the door rather, sorry, hold on. I forgot that you speak Dwarven.
Dwarven and Elvish.
My computer's lagging a little bit.
And you know what I realized about the last mission I was in?
Oh,
I'm immune to disease.
Yeah. This one says Convoyer's Hall.
All right, I'll relay that back to the other one, see if they know, anybody has an idea what that may mean.
Do we know what that means?
So, conveyor is, you know what a conveyor is. Convoyer, no, not sure. It's possibly some form of attendant or guardian of a passageway.
Maybe I should go first.
I'll step in behind him.
Okay.
I'm gonna slowly push the door open and peek in.
As you do, it kind of lets out a stone like groan. And you step into the room. You can see that there are these strange ferns outside and now inside that are kind of growing up out of the cracks of the floor. They do appear to be kind of covered with salt, but despite the fact that there's no light or water present, they seem to be flourishing. There is a portalway, not a door, to the north and to the east.
Due to my dark vision, do I notice anything coming from the north?
Yeah, so you would actually see a form that's very familiar to you. It appears to be one of the automatons, like Celia. And it's kind of just standing there. Its eyes are glowing kind of purplish color. And you kind of enter into that room and can see that it is active. It turns to look over at you and kind of blinks. Its eyes kind of flickering, really, as it looks at you.
Like it's blinking?
Yeah, just like it's blinking.
I am going to approach.
Identify yourself.
Be careful. Be careful.
Greetings. My name is Uru.
Sorry, do you speak Dwarvish?
No.
Chief, identify yourself.
Tell it I am Chi, a paladin of Ignis Ka.
Unacceptable protocol. Please leave this place. You are not permitted.
It's saying we're not permitted.
Gee, tell them that we are permitted and that we're permitted.
All right. In Dwarvish, I would say we are permitted.
It blinks again. Takes a second. Allow me to check the ledger. And it steps here, like right up to you. And it looks like it's trying to walk past you.
I get out of the way as he approaches.
Give it some room.
Okay. If everybody gives it room, and nobody tries to impede its movement, it moves towards the bridge. And it looks like it's heading across the hall to the other side. Are you allowing it to continue on with its path and wait for it, or?
Yeah, let's see where it goes.
Okay.
Hey, should we close this door while he's out? You know, just like maybe wedge it a little bit.
How big is that door?
It is about 10 feet high, about 5 feet wide. And what did you say, Chris?
Okay.
I said, should we close the door?
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a smart idea.
The big automaton is not going to make it through that door without
Sure.
allowing himself to be at a disadvantage. So
It
I say we just leave it open.
It goes into that side chamber where the books were. And you guys
Follow it.
You wait a couple of seconds. If somebody's heading over in that direction, after just a moment or two, you hear coming from that chamber.
That's never
That
a
doesn't
good
sound
sound.
good.
We should really close that door, shouldn't we?
Are you guys closing the
get
door
in,
behind
close
you?
the door.
Okay.
Wait, we still got somebody out.
As you
Get in here, get in
she
here.
pops in, you guys close the door. As you close the door, you hear a loud thud, and Your sleep last night was interrupted by that feeling of, dread when you were overpowered. You're pretty certain that that thing just called the other thing.
We are so fucked.
But the door's closed.
Battle hold
Is
it.
there any way to lock the door from this side?
As a matter of fact, there is. There appears to be a lever on the side, a dwarvish-looking lever. Darna, just out of your reach, but you can jump up and kip up to grab it. And if you pull the lever, it looks like it will send gears into place to lock it. The gears kind of act as a bar, except that they're rotated into position by the lever.
I do that.
That was a
Okay.
boring conversation anyway.
Door shuts. You sit there in quiet perpetuity. Do you guys listen to the other thing to hear what's going on?
No, I quickly run into this room over here, and I'm just looking for anything that might look interesting before I go down the other passage.
So everybody, look around. I'll listen at the door. Do not go alone. Somebody keep in teams.
Basically, at this point, for the current time, Kristen's character will act as, and I need to move the map on this screen. Hold on. It's not showing anything. Oh my god, stop lagging. But Kristen's character will act as kind of like the mediary person, so like she won't go with one group, she'll stay in between the other groups. But Dugat and Uru, as you kind of enter into that large chamber, you see that there are a number of chairs, old and salt-covered. On the walls, there are a total of 3 alcoves on each wall, and just north of those alcoves is a hallway passage off to the side. In the north end, there is yet another alcove, but the alcove in the north end is the one that seems to be important. Carved into the stone is a bas-relief, very detailed and ornate, and actually kind of jutting out quite a bit. It seems to be the shape of an aboleth. Very well detailed, and each one of its tendrils is reaching out and touching the head of a dwarf. And there are a total of 6 of them kind of lined out in front of it. Its eyes are set with ruby stones.
All right, that's creepy. Should we throw this in the bag and just get out of here?
It's the wall. That statue is the wall. Yeah, you could get the rubies, but like.
Does anyone want those rubies? I'm a little worried about this right now.
I don't see or hear anything. I'm still listening at the door.
Oh, if you're listening at the door, you hear the sound of footfalls in that channelway, and then you hear it leap up onto the ledge opposite of you. It's very loud. And it appears to be yelling in Dwarvish something. It sounds like the little one says, "Intruders, intruders, intruders." The other one says, "Identify, location. They were just here, they were just here. The ledger has been taken. The ledger has been taken. Please find the ledger." And then you hear it tromp off.
All right, we might have a couple minutes.
So do those passageways in this room, they look like they go somewhere?
Yeah. Well, sorry, not passage. The passageways on the side do. Yes.
Yes.
The alcoves actually look kind of important too, because they aren't stone. It looks like there's like a half cylinder of steel or iron that's been set inside of each of those alcoves.
Okay, apparently the small one woke up the big one, and last time we were here, we took a ledger, so now the big one's looking for us. Yeah, all's good in Wonderland.
All right, was he coming towards the door?
Doesn't sound like it.
No, he was walking off.
Make a perception check, Chief.
We're going to go back. There ain't going to be no city.
To be honest, it sounded like he was actually walking up the channelway out of the Hall of the Maker, back the way you came.
Yeah, that's not good either.
He's going to camp. So these are they steel containers, or what do these metal things look
Basically, they're just like about 8 foot high, set to the ground alcoves set in the stone, but on the back wall of the alcoves is steel. Make a investigation check. The floor of it has these strange boot settings, like footprints, and from what you can tell, they're about the same size and dimension to fit the foot of an automaton, like Celia. Um, you don't know what the purpose of these positions is, but you assume that they could stand in them and sized for them.
It's a charger.
So Uru has a terrible idea, and he is going to just stand with his feet on two of the plates to see what happens.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Uru turns into a horse.
Okay. As you kind of step into it, you feel this sudden shock jolt up from your feet to your brain, and you kind of like grab your head and like fall forward and get out of the thing. Whatever it was, this surge or energy kind of came over you, and it seemed to kind of like run through the course of your body. Hold on. 3 points of lightning damage.
Oh, ouch, ouch. Don't stand where those footprints are. Don't think they're meant for us.
You're not the smartest barbarian in camp, are you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you know that headband of intellect is an uncommon magic item that you guys could have
Yeah.
chosen?
I do. I do.
Anywho, Uru, you do that. Chi, you watch him. Do you want to do anything besides watch him?
I'm gonna laugh at him, but I'll just make sure he ain't dead.
Appropriate. Yeah, it doesn't seem to hurt him. Dugat, as they're doing that, what would you like to do?
We've searched the room basically. It doesn't look like there's any way out of here, so I say just head on back down to the middle room.
Okay. It looks like there's two other passageways though, besides the way you entered.
Up here?
Yeah, one to the left, one to the right.
I'll check this one out here where I'm
at. Okay. And then Dugat, you want to take the one on the left?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Chi, you kind of move over to the door there. The door doesn't seem to have any kind of mechanism to open it. It is a complete slab of steel that's just set in place. If you'd like, you can go ahead and make an investigation check to kind of figure it out.
And I'm not swinging this door wide open real quick in
case
it does open.
Sorry, that was Chi. That was Chi who's.
I'm just letting you know that in case you think that I'm going to swing this door open. Choate, you open the door and this is here. No, I'm not swinging it wide open.
I'm not. Yeah, no. It seems from what you can tell, Chi, that the door appears to have an ability to drop into the floor. From what you can see, there's kind of like no groove at the top that the door's coming out of, but at the bottom it looks like it's actually emanating out of the stone. And then on Dugat's side, when you get over there, there appears to be a handle, horizontal, with two connection points to the steel door, and it looks like it can be turned in either direction. You're mute.
I try to turn it a little bit, just a little bit, not to
the left,
open it, but
to the right.
To the right.
Okay. As you turn it to the right, you hear a very loud click, and like even as you try to like just do it a little bit, it kind of follows its own path. It's once guided a little bit, and it falls into place. And you hear a click. Still mute.
Sorry, the door doesn't open though.
Door doesn't open.
Can I push
it? Anything happen to mine?
Nothing happens. Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies. When his clicks on the other side, you see a very strange hole just kind of appear in the steel. It appears to be kind of octagonal shape, very similar to like an Allen wrench hole.
Yeah, Typhon has, I think, the tool that fits in here.
Okay. Chris, are you going to turn it the other direction?
Yeah.
As he turns it back to the middle position, the hole disappears for you, Chi, and it's very, very strange. Like it's just kind of like a small little piece of steel that's sliding over the hole. But it's so like perfectly like crafted, you can't even tell that it's like not one piece. Because dwarfs, when you turn it finally to the final position, the door like releases from its lock and kind of drifts just lightly open in your hand. It's now able to be pushed open at this point, Chris.
I'm gonna push it open a little bit just to try to peek out.
Okay. When you enter in, you see that there are a couple of desks, like just looking around the thing. It's musky in here, and 2 desks that you can see. Do you want to go in full? Doesn't seem like anything's moving or anything in reaction to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Seems to be some sort of office. There are indeed 2 desks. One desk has a single piece of parchment on it. The other desk has a number of different books, one open, several others not. And then in the far corner, there's just a chest sitting there.
I'm gonna look through the papers, see if I can read anything and understand it.
It appears to be all in a very strange tongue, which you don't understand.
Okay.
Okay. Darna, you are moving over to the chest.
Yes. I'm gonna
Okay.
see if it opens.
Yeah, if you just go to open it, it pops open pretty easily. It's just a simple kind of like storage chest. And on the inside, you see a total of 4 arms. One has an Allen wrench key as its hand. The other one has this strange pair of clamps, or this strange like claw-like clamp. Another one has what appears to be a 5-spoked kind of device. The spokes on it, like the spikes rather, are very thin at their ends, very strange looking. They look mechanical or something, kind of like a hand, but just metal spikes instead of fingers. And then last but not least, it's just a round dome. Like there's nothing attached to the hand portion, but they're all connection points for the automaton. They look like if that automaton that just passed you by, it could remove like a section of its arm around the forearm and put one of these in place on either arm. There's no real left or rightness to them.
Oh, so these are attachments.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Just like the one that Typhon is now wearing as a hand.
Right. Do I understand any of these books?
No. So when you go over to them, they look very strange indeed, but they're not dwarvish.
Okay, I'm going to grab all the books, throw them in a bag, in
Okay.
that bag we got.
Yep. Who's carrying the bag, by the way?
Uru was, I believe.
I am.
Got it tied to your backpack like a big satchel.
Everybody, I want to grab that Allen wrench looking one. Everybody grab an attachment.
Don't think we should just put them all in the bag? They look kind of heavy.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Allen wrench one. Everybody grab an attachment. We can put them in the bag. We can grab them if we need them. And then come out and move that lever back to where it was. And we'll see if this Allen wrench thing, this octagon thing will fit in that hole.
Okay. Do me one last favor. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Who, me?
Dugat. Okay. Yep. You guys head back out to do the thing?
Yes.
Okay. It works. Yeah, you shove the key in the hole after the key slot has been opened, and you turn it one direction. It doesn't move. You turn it in the next direction, and sure enough, it unlocks it. All right, and it opens into a very strange small room. Looks like there are 2 small passageways to the south, from what you can tell when you step in, and it's kind of just empty besides that. Let's see here. In the back left corner, or in the bottom left corner, so this one here. Hold on. I'm trying to point, but it's not working. This one here.
Yeah, where
that
I'm
one.
at.
Yeah, there appears to be a suit of armor. But it's larger than a dwarf would be, just a bit larger than a dwarf would be. The thing that's making you kind of confused about it is it doesn't look like it's very functional in that the chest is opened up and the legs are opened up. It kind of looks like someone could stand inside of it, but it doesn't look like it's very functional.
Hey, halfling, come here. Let me put you in here. See if you can make it work.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'll go ahead and pick her up and set her in the chest cavity because I figured that'd be.
as she kind of like touches it to kind of climb up into it, the thing starts to reshape itself, just becomes smaller. It seems to be a perfect fit for her, and if she deems to kind of get into it, it does eventually just close up around her and seal her into the armor. Once inside of it, Darna, you kind of feel like your movement is really just hampered. You feel like you can move around with this thing, but the thing that you notice most is when you were outside, there was this strange taste of salt in the air. You're not getting that in here.
Cool.
Hey, a fully armored plate mail monk.
Oh, that was pretty interesting.
Will that fit in the bag?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Unless you want to wear it, let's put it in the bag.
Do I feel stronger in the suit?
Not really. It feels like it has its own strength. You're just controlling it.
Does it feel stronger than me?
Not really. Not by much. It feels about as. I mean, you kind of move around like, punch a wall to try and seem cool, but it doesn't really do much. And your hands are inside of it. It seems to have like slightly longer arms than you, and this one currently has no hands. So, but it looks like it has locked points in its arms that can be fitted with those strange arms.
Hey, look at that.
Okay, I get out of the suit.
Okay. Who puts it in the thing? Is it Uru?
Uru, do you want to put it in the bag, or you want me to put it in the bag for you?
I could try putting it in the bag, like kind of like dog poo style.
Whoever ends up putting it in the bag, when you touch it to move it, it starts to reshape and becomes about your size, like you could fit into it. It basically adds about 1.5 2 feet to your height, and probably about a foot or so to your width. You're still medium size while you're in it, but it just seems to encase whoever's the holder of it.
Do you want me to put it in the bag so it's smaller?
That might be a good idea.
Its weight doesn't seem to change, though. But
that may come in handy later down the road.
You stuff it in the bag.
So what was it like inside there?
I didn't smell salt.
We could use this to possibly sneak by the other automatons.
In the other cubby hold, there's just an automaton. But as you kind of look it over, Uru, you were in the original factory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem to have a brain in its chassis.
I found some spare parts, and I throw him in the bag.
Hey, maybe we can use an arm for Typhon.
Absolutely fair.
If nothing else, we can shove him in this suit of armor.
But besides that, there doesn't appear to be much to this chamber. What would you like to do?
I'm going to head back out, and I'm going to quickly listen to the stone door.
Head south and listen to the stone door. Yeah, no sound. There appears to be
I want to go in this other room.
Yeah, portalway to the east. Once you enter into that next room, it too is kind of covered with ferns. But the other thing that you notice is that it's covered with the remnants of the automatons. There appear to be 2, maybe 3 parts worth of automatons just broken on the ground. Inside, you can see the decayed, desiccated brains sitting inside of the wires, and the staining of the weird fluid that sits inside the chassis of these things, staining the floor around them. They look like they've been down for quite some time. To the south, you can see another one. To the north end, there's two small little alcoves, square in shape, not round. And then to the right, it appears that it continues on to a set of stairs that lead down.
Okay, I want to take my left arm
Mhm.
and I want to grab up a bunch of this ivy moss type stuff
Okay.
just to let someone back at camp look at it. It might be helpful.
All right. You pull it up, and it definitely has like a kind of springy nature to it. But as you kind of move it over to like set it in the bag, it feels like it's just starting to kind of dissolve in your hand. It feels like it's very grainy, granulated, and as you're kind of like moving it to do it, it's kind of falling off in parts, and the parts are kind of like becoming like vegetable, like powder.
Okay, well, that's not going to work.
Do I notice anything about that?
Make a intelligence check, but add proficiency. So just make an intelligence check. We'll add 3. Yeah, actually. So when you dry vegetable matter and try to basically make it into kind of a powder, that's exactly what happens to it. And basically, it looks like whatever this fern is able to sustain itself, but only so long as it's stuck to the ground.
Well, let's take some of the powder anyway. Maybe the powder may be useful.
Yeah. Basically, what you would know is there's something about the earth underneath the stone that seems to be sustaining this vegetation. Herbifarge had special soils that he would use in his place to, well, I mean, you saw some of those plants. So, yeah.
I'm gonna proceed down the southern hallway.
Okay.
Yeah. What do these alcoves look like?
Okay, so hold on. Let's do it each piecemeal. Uru, go ahead and move to the point where you want to go. Chi, move to where you want to go. Dugat, what are you doing? Chris?
I'm thinking. I'll go up here and check out this one.
Mm-hmm. And Kate? Just trying to look down the stairs. Okay. Okay. In your alcove, it kind of comes up to about chest level for a dwarf, and kind of setting just inside of a bronze plate is this strange orb device. Very strange orb device. It looks like it's about 6 different like circular connections, kind of like entangled, and then they have pieces of metal that are entering into the center of it, each one of them, and at the center of its core, rather, is a purple-looking gemstone. It is made out of bronze.
Whose alcove is it?
Yours.
Oh, okay. So it's a sphere.
It's basically like a hollow sphere. It's like 6 rings that have been kind of connected to form a sphere, and they all have like metal bars in them that connect to this center point, which is a purple-looking gemstone.
Hey, didn't we have a half dome attachment? In the bag?
There is a dome-like attachment.
Did that dome-like attachment look like a shield or a bludgeoning device, or it looked like it had something that could insert into it?
It kind of looked like just like a buckler at the end of a hand. Think of like a radar dome at the end of a fist.
Does it look like this orb would fit in it?
No, because this is not. It's not a bowl. It's like a shield over the hand.
Gotcha.
So like, here's my fist, and I can't because I'm speak, but it's like that.
All right.
Dugat, in yours.
I'll use my left hand and grab it.
Okay, it doesn't murder you or anything. It's fine. Dugat, you see in yours there is also another bronze plate at about dwarf chest level, but sitting inside of your dwarfy bronze plate are 6 gemstones. There is a ruby, There is a citrine or yellowish-looking stone, an emerald, an amethyst, 6 different colored stones.
I show the group and say, hopefully these will be helpful later. If not, I'm sure we can sell them for a decent price.
Yep, I want to put this circle, this orb thing in the bag. We'll
Okay.
figure it out later.
Uru, as you kind of step into this next room, it looks like there's a path to the south and a path to the west. The path to the west looks like it kind of folds down to the south as well. And there's another one of those alcoves. However, in this alcove, there is an automaton standing there. It's very similar in kind to the ones that you've seen. This one has 2 arm pieces. Both are the claw hands.
Does it look like it has a brain or?
It does. It does look like it has a brain set in it. There's also on the floor in front of you a grill, kind of like just a grating, and it looks like it kind of descends into a pit. But it doesn't look like it has any mechanism to lift it. It looks like it's built into the floor. There's also a dead automaton at your feet.
Right, I'm going to step over the dead automaton, and I'm just going to walk over to the one that is standing in the alcove, and I'm just going to give him 2 quick taps on the forehead.
Okay. The second after you tap him, Darna, Uru, and Talith all kind of because they hear a very loud bang on the door, the stone door that you guys first entered into. Talith's bow is up, knocking. And she's kind of backing away from the door or the portalway.
I will switch you spots.
Okay. If you stand there for a second, Chi, kind of holding your position at the bottleneck, you hear it bang again, this time less loudly, and then it continues to kind of bang until it starts scraping. Make a perception check.
Who?
Chi. Yeah, it's not very big. Whatever's slamming into it is what you're sure of.
All right, I will stay here and watch that door. You guys go ahead and continue searching.
Okay. Dugat, I assume you reconvene with the group. Darna, you kind of followed in after Uru. Do you want to cut to one of the different paths, or are you just holding your position? Heading south. Yeah. Okay, you see another grill, just like the one that he was kind of looking to. And if you continue on in, you'll see another one of those alcoves, and it looks like a passageway to your character's right, to the west. You're pretty perceptive and smart. You would assume that the path that you didn't go to probably connects with the one that you're looking at here. This alcove does not have an automaton in it.
Can I see in the grate how far down it is?
Yeah, if you're kind of holding the torch and kind of looking down, it's well past your 40-foot light. And if you kind of like pay attention to the grate, you can go ahead and make me a perception check.
Are there like is there little pebbles or stone that I could drop?
Salt crystals, sure. Yeah, there's something. You do that and make a perception check. So, good enough. You would realize that there's probably a couple 100 feet. You're not sure if that's an accurate sum, but some distance down, there's a bit of water. Okay.
I go back and relay that info.
You're heading back that way. As you're doing so, and as you're kind of scouting out that way, do you want to go the other pathway, or do you want to stay with Uru? What'd you say?
Sorry, I keep forgetting to hit the button.
You can set it to not push to talk.
I don't want you to hear all my breathing and stuff.
Got it.
I'm gonna stay with the group just because we heard that bang. I'm gonna stay
Okay.
with everyone.
Talith and Chi seem to be maintaining their position there. Uru, you kind of inspect this one. You tapped it. There was a sound, but it wasn't related to this thing. This thing does not seem to be moving at all.
All right. I will move around, and I'm going to peer into this left pathway.
Okay. If you go around the pathway, you'll eventually come to a small little chamber that's actually set inside of the stone. Just go ahead and hobble on around. Inside of this room, you see a grate in the center of an octagonal room, and you see 3 of the small little alcoves. However, these alcoves have like a shelf set about dwarf level, and setting in these shelves are decanters that have these strange, they're bottles. They look like very ornate glass bottles with these very strange hoses connected to the tops of them. You've seen a decanter very similar to this one that was being carried around by Seer Shaw. You're pretty sure it was the gift she got for the holiday. But there's 3 of them, and each one of them is connected to a hose.
Interesting. I'm going to take the hose and detach it from the first one up to the north and see what happens.
Make a strength check. Strength athletics. Yeah, so Dugat, you watch as he pulls the bottle free of the thing. The hose goes like this for a second, and then stops as water sprays out from it, and the decanters just start shooting water straight up into the air, splashing everywhere. It very easily runs its course into the grate in the middle, but there is so much water in here. Everybody who's present, including Darna at the exit, is being splashed because it's just jutting, just gushing, just fountain of water straight up into the ceiling, and it's just everywhere.
Oh shit! Is there a lid?
Did you plug that?
You're doing this with your face, and you're looking around for it. Water's like, and you're like, there doesn't seem to be a lid on the thing or anything.
I'll put my thumb in it.
All right, make a strength athletics check.
You lose a thumb.
You manage to put he's not a paladin. You manage to shove your thumb into the bottle, and it seals it, but your hands are now currently one of your hands, rather, is stuck to the bottle. The bottle seems to be secured in its place.
All right, we're gonna have to find some sort of stone, and I sheepishly put the bottle behind my back, kind of hiding it a little bit.
Yep. So you got your thumb like this, and you're doing one of those. Okay. And like I said, it's still set inside of its place on the shelf there.
Oh, it's still on the shelf.
Yeah, it's kind of. It seems as you kind of like look over your shoulder and back at it, there appear to be fastenings kind of setting it in that position, like holding it there with the hose on top of it, but the hose was ripped off.
Am I able to break it away from the hose?
Another strength athletics check. Yeah, and you do it with your thumb still stuck in it. Yeah, you
All right.
break it off of there.
I'm just gonna carry it like that for now.
Okay. Dugat, you see the other half-orc barbarian do some silliness. Darna, you do as well. What would you like to do, actually, Kate?
I want to look around to see if there is some type of a plug or something that we can plug these decanters if we're taking them.
He does have another thumb. Who's got 2 decanters of endless water and 2 thumbs? This guy. Oh!
Can I look at the size of those gens we had and see if one of those might plug it up?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. It's not a bad idea.
Or if nothing else, we can take a torch and carve it down small enough to fit in the end of fit in that hole.
You're pretty sure Dugat with a bit of force and a hammer, if you have one, you might be able to force some of those gemstones into it, and it would seal it up. It would be hard to pry it out, um, and if you did so, you'd basically be making a projectile that's made out of a gemstone. Initial, like remember how scared you were of the champagne bottles? Yeah, imagine if that was like a ruby. That wouldn't be good.
What if I took one of my torches and just shaved
Too small.
the end of it down? Too small.
Yeah, it would take quite a bit of whittling, and at that point, it would be, yeah, very difficult to get it in the set. The gemstone seems like it might work because of the size being kind of close to perfect, and kind of hammering it in. The wood would kind of form a decent plug, but you're not sure it would kind of settle.
Wait a minute, I got a water skin. Isn't there a nozzle on the end of it?
Yeah, but the decanter seems to have kind of like a wider,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Put a gemstone in it. Let's grab all of them.
Okay.
We'll have somebody else figure out how to not shoot themselves in the eye with it.
If your goal is to get these bottles out and seal them, that's fine. You take some effort and time to get the decanters off and plugged. Just remove 3 of those gemstones from your sheet.
Can anybody see where the hoses go? Because if these things are pumping water somewhere.
They go into the ceiling, from what you can see.
Well, if anything dries up in the next few days, we'll know where it went.
Okay. But yeah, other than the 3 decanters of endless water, this appears to be it for this chamber.
We keep going.
Can I try the water?
You're going to drink it?
Yeah, I'm going to drink a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, it tastes fine.
Okay, I'm going to fill up my water skin or whatever I have just to make sure it's full and good to go.
So
You know, as a blacksmith, I should be able to make
hold on.
taps for these. Right?
You pull the gemstone out and try to fill your bottle or your water skin with it?
No, just my water skin.
Okay, do me a favor, make an athletics check.
Wait a minute, hold on, what happened? What?
Do me a favor.
Before it,
It's not a decanter of endless water. Oh, this will be easy. It's all the time, always shooting lots of gushy water.
okay, since I already said it, do I have to do it?
Yeah,
now?
I want that athletics check. Somehow he goes, pulls the gemstone out, and right when that happens, you just see a little bit of water go boop, and then he shoves them together. The water skin goes boop, and he goes up. And manages to just do it perfect.
Yes.
But your water skin is over full. It's like as you're walking, it's going because it's very full.
As a blacksmith, I should be able to make taps for this, right?
Yeah, once you get some metal or you get some tools, yeah, you should be able to do that.
Oh, I got steel and tools.
There's some dead anima, whatever things around here. Aren't they made of metal?
But
yeah, I took some steel parts from the last one we found.
But these ones here, besides the ones that are active, their bodies are rusted. Like they're corroded because they've been hanging around with salt a lot.
Yeah, I got two large pieces of steel from the one we found down by the gold golem, so I should have enough to make taps.
Yeah, salt makes rust go faster. Anywho, you guys head back into the main chamber. Chi, the sound keeps on kind of banging against it. Eventually, Tal kind of like says over your shoulder, I think it's the smaller one just bumping into the door.
Could be. We can let it in and fight it.
She shrugs. I don't see a point. If you want to, I'll shoot it, but...
Well, to get out of here, we're going to have to go through it, so...
Let's wait till later, maybe.
Yeah, we can wait till later. But either way, we're probably going to have to fight this thing.
Okay. Is the goal that you guys have in mind to head towards the steps?
I would say yes. Going to further investigate, I believe.
Perfect.
Since it doesn't seem like this thing's able to get into the door, I'm going to go ahead and follow with the group.
Okay. Just go ahead and line yourselves up there in a nice marching order.
I'll
Well, I'm not
take
in
the
the front.
6.
I'm definitely in the front.
I will bring up the rear.
Yeah.
Dugat smash.
Duga, get in front of me.
Do God, Phil Waterskin.
That's the first bath you've had in a long time.
Clean.
What's funny is Dugat is actually the only character in this group.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
You couldn't hear any of that, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. The funny thing about Dugat is, unlike everybody else in this group who have committed many acts of murder, Dugat's the only one who's ever been charged with it.
Yeah. I'm a criminal.
Yeah. That was fun. Alright. Uru, as you kind of come down the steps, actually, correction. I apologize. I totally goofed. As you come up the steps, those are stairs that go up, not down. I'm bad at reading my own stuff. Talith was in the back, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm in the back.
As you come up those steps, you can see that it enters into a larger chamber, but you sense movement as you're kind of approaching.
I'm gonna immediately grab my shield.
Okay. Looking on ahead, you see what looks like the shape of an automaton, but its frame isn't the same color as the other ones, and it seems to be a bit bulkier. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me try to show you what it looks like.
And I'm just gonna say, hi, we got movement up ahead, everyone. Prepare yourselves.
Trying really hard right now to show you what it looks like. This is gonna work. So, for those of you who are watching at home, and those of you who haven't been playing too much, this is what the first automaton looked like. Okay, very simple frame, chassis, looks like it's made out of steel, kind of a bit of a polish to it. And its chassis, it's filled with fluid, and there seems to be a brain that kind of is just sitting, wrapped in wires, and with a weird kind of bronze pedestal underneath. The ones we're looking at now does not have a brain set in it. Instead, there's just a purple light glowing in its chest, and purple eyes set in its face. It appears to be more up-armored than the other one.
Does this armor look like the stuff that was put onto the halfling earlier?
No. Very similar, but the colors of the armor that you have for the halfling was very reminiscent of the Mark Ones.
Gotcha.
Like that color.
Has it noticed us?
It doesn't appear to have. It seems to be kind of just pacing, really.
What, is there anything else around this chamber, left and right, places to sneak?
So if you're kind of like doing one of these, like looking up as far as you can up the steps without being spotted, what you can see in the chamber is that in the center of the chamber there appears to be kind of a grate. Not a circular one, kind of like a long oval or like tablet shape. You also see that just near the door there are two pillars about 10 feet away, and there appear to be on the ground several automaton bodies.
All right. What would you guys like to do? I could go attempt diplomacy.
You all see as he kind of turns back and starts to whisper talk at you, but with a slightly more booming voice than others might have. The eyes turn and look down the passageway. Uru, you can see that it's now looking at you. And you hear a kind of emanating from the center of the chamber where it's standing. Roll initiative. And I'm going to pull you to the map, but the map is not 1-for-1 at this point because I can't drag you far back. basically you're in that order, but in essence, Uru will actually be at the foot of the steps there, the first entry point. It's just the easiest way for me to settle it for right now. It'll make sense once I show you. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So actually, Uru is standing where Talath is, and then behind him is the line. Okay.
So, as I'm looking at it and kind of in this room, does it appear to be being aggressive in nature?
Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely looks like it's ready to fight. It kind of like, as it catches your sight, it kind of like ducks down low and looks like it's prepared to dash at a sprint straight at you.
Well, I've been bold. Oh, what's going on here? I'm gonna run at it as well.
Okay. So looks like the highest. Let me go ahead and get Talith on there too. Try to anyway. Here we go. All right. Cool. Darna, it looks like you're the fastest. So you would see from Uru's stance and basically his silence now,
on the list.
there appears to be something. You're what?
I'm not on the list.
Did you select your token and hit initiative first?
Yeah, but the initiative wasn't on the thing. I got a 5.
No, you're on there. You're at the bottom. Scroll down.
I see 3 people.
I see.
I only see 3 as well.
Oh, what?
On the turn order, there's only 3 people.
Hold on a second. That's really weird. Hold on. How about you, Jeremy? Do you see everybody fine?
I don't even have the initiative tracker on my thing.
That's really weird. You see the map just fine, though, right?
Map's just fine. I'll reload the page.
Okay. Me, Jeremy, and the robot. But you guys aren't on there?
I'm reloading.
It's not helping. Hold on.
Nope, there's only 3.
Yeah, I'm seeing 3 now that I've reloaded it.
No, you should have 4 now.
Still only 3.
I see 4 now.
5.
5.
Now 5.
And I gotta just manual it. For some reason it didn't. It's really weird. Okay, so hold on a second. All right. Okay. Dugat is on 9. That looks right. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, 24, Darna. You see Uru kind of crouched low. Looks like he's preparing to kind of like charge off into the room. You can't really see because you're kind of down a couple of steps, but it sounds like there's one of those automatons just ahead. For purposes of movement, you are not technically where you're at on the map. You are 2 squares behind where Talith is located, so effectively 10 feet off board. What would you like to do, Kate?
I am going to move 10, 15 here. Can I kind of hide behind this column?
Yeah, so you bolt out and you're attempting to hide. So go ahead and make a hide check. So stealth.
I'm hidden.
Okay.
And if he comes past here, I'm gonna swing at him.
Stealth, you can't hide as a bonus action. You're hiding as an action.
Okay, then I'm not. I'm just hiding.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and kind of crunch us in just for clarity there. Uru, I assume, is going to be bolting forward, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's 30 feet away from you.
It's alright, I got plenty. As I go into my rage, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna immediately trip him.
Okay. Yeah.
That was not a good roll. Do I get advantage due to my rage, though?
Yeah. Okay. So,
Dang.
yeah, since you're setting the DC, it will block. You rush in forward, kind of get low and try to knock him ass over tea kettle. He kind of drops in low and kind of shoulders into it. His feet slide against the ground a bit, against the stone, kind of like nails on a chalkboard, and he kind of looks down at you with his purple eyes. As he does so, like he turns his hand up where the key is
Oh, I
located.
still have actions.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Am I able to, as a free action, remove the water decanter from my thumb?
So you haven't drawn a weapon yet? That I recall you, so
no.
That's a part of an action. If the action is unstopping the decanter, then yeah, it's fine.
That would be my action.
Okay.
I'm gonna then just keep it on my hand, and I'm going to punch this thing in the face twice.
Oh, so you're gonna try and punch him?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't. Didn't you guys say you stoppered all of them, even the one that you had your thumb in with the gemstones?
Oh, I didn't know if we did that. Okay, then yes,
okay.
I will draw a weapon then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch him anyways.
Fair enough. Yeah, it hits, and it doesn't seem to do anything at all. Yeah.
Oh, well then I draw my hammer and then I hit him again.
Okay. You swing, and basically you punch him in the chassis, and you kind of just hear a hollow hung, and then you know grab the hammer and swing it, and it just bounces off of his pauldron or shoulder. As I was saying, the key hand kind of lifts up, and the key drops into the frame. And after that happens, a purple beam of energy appears where his hand was. Yeah.
Don't say yeah. Don't say yeah.
What?
Nothing good ever comes after saying something like that.
Always. Okay. Sorry, bear with me here. Alright, so this macro should work, but it's not clicking. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here we go. First attack, miss. Second attack, miss, probably.
Those both miss.
Okay. Alright, it'll go to Talith. She will move into the room, but she's going to sidestep over to the other pillar that Darna's not at. She'll come around it and fire an arrow. Twice, actually. Attack 1, attack 2. As she hits it, you're up close to it, Uru. You can tell that the arrows don't seem to be doing as much as they're intended to do.
But they still seem to be doing damage?
Correct. Damn, she rolled really good on that second hit, though. That's still going to be a decent shot. We'll say that one hits it in the eye, and it kind of to the side. She gets a good square shot right in. So, 24. Tabbed. All right, cool. Dugat.
And then rage.
You're moving around the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to swing on him for my.
Mhm.
Oh wow! Hold on, my screen's.
Hit. And that's a magic weapon, so welcome to Pain Town. -2 more because rage.
I get my special Orc Fury, right?
Well, you get you didn't crit. Orcish Fury is a 1 per short rest thing you can use if you want. You don't have to though. You don't get it on every attack. It's just once per short rest you can add an extra weapon damage dice.
I'll hold it, but I do get to attack twice because I'm
You sure
a barbarian.
do. Yeah, 5th level. That'll miss. All right, it'll go to Chi.
How far am I away from?
So you would have been down at the very back of the group. So 5, 10, 15, 20. You're 20 feet down the steps. So it'll take you 25 feet of movement to get to where you're currently standing.
All right, I will move to there since that's
30.
all my movement, and I will throw my hammer.
Okay. The thong on the pommel of it, you start using it to kind of ha. That'll hit it. Yep.
Bonus action, Thunder Smite.
No. You bonus action to activate the smite on it before you attack.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's not an after effect, but you can use your bonus action this turn to make it return to your hand.
Yeah. Okay. Bonus action, call it back to me.
You see the hammer fly right over Uru's shoulder and clip it right in the head. Dong! And then it kind of whoosh back to Chi. All right. Darna. Looks like they've got it well.
Have Thorn's hammer.
The Hammer of Storms. It's not Thor's hammer exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Wolfgar's.
It is very much like Wolfgar's, yes.
I'm gonna run up here and punch him.
Okay. Monks' weapons don't act as magical until 6th level, right? Or is it 5th level? I don't remember. It is 6th level. That's a sweet crit, but it seems to be resistant to your fists. 13 half is. All right, and you have a second attack as a 5th level monk, so you can attack just normally as a part of that action again.
Don't you have flurry of blows?
Right, as a bonus action, she can attack once, or she can spend ki to flurry. But yeah, second attack hits. Again, like I said, your fists don't seem to be doing as much as you'd like. You were expecting to run up on this thing and like punch dents into it, but you're just kind of like rattling the inner cage. If you want to, you can spend a bonus action to make a third attack, or you can spend a bonus action and a ki point to make 2 more attacks.
Nah.
You want to just bonus action regular attack then?
Okay.
Yeah, since you're not using your bonus action for anything else. Attack. All right. Snap kick to finish it off. Yeah, it seems rattled by your attacks, but again, you felt like you were going to punch through this thing, not punch it, punch a couple dents into it. Uru.
Rinse and repeat, I always say, so I'm going to try and shield bash it again.
Okay. That's really good. That's way better.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So you kind of like get down, you're like, "Huh!" and hit it in the legs again, and it kind of just tucks down and like holds itself down onto you as you kind of back out of the spear attempt to try and get back to the attacking.
Well, then I'm going to just hit it with my hammer. I'm going to make these ones reckless.
Mm-hmm. Hit and hit. So 8. All right. It'll go to it. It seems to have its target. It's going to continue to attack on you, Uru. Attack number 1. Attack number 2. So 9 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
Cool.
Just a bit of a tickle.
And Talith. will take a shot. Longbow, miss. Longbow, hit. She fires her arrow, and it hits it in the head again, but it seems to still be standing. Dugat.
I am going to get all mad and go reckless as well.
Okay, make your attack. Okay, so you bring your axe down on its back and hit it right between where the shoulder meets the arm and cleave into it. Once you do so, you see that this kind of strange gas kind of emanates from its shoulder. It's blackish in color, but it's very faint and it just kind of dissipates into the air very quickly. As that's kind of releasing out of the chassis and is falling to its side, you notice that also this purple energy is flooding out of it as well. And for you in the front, Uru, you can see the weird purple glow in its center just starts flooding out the side, and you hear a scream of a young woman emanating out of the side of the chassis as the thing falls to the ground.
Anyone else hear that?
Yeah, Darna would have heard it as well. As you kind of look at the fallen chassis and kind of look into the thing in the center, there's no longer like a black just discoloration in the interior, but sitting inside of the chassis, much like a brain but not, is the same device that Chi found in the other chamber. The weird 6 rings with the gemstone in the center.
Can I attempt to pull it from the chassis?
Yeah, no problem. You reach into the side there where the hole was made by Dugat's cleaving, grab it, and pull, and the wires kind of distend free from it. The gemstone in the center just appears to be kind of cold and set. It also looks like it's cracked.
That doesn't look like
Wait
a
a minute.
pearl.
Are these soul stones?
You can make an Arcana check or a religion check, Chi. Yeah, based on what you witnessed, these stones seem to be able to capture or hold souls in them.
Okay, that one is broken. The one we have is not, so let's be very careful with it.
Okay.
Probably a good idea.
One or the unbroken one?
The unbroken. Maybe we can get some information if we can figure out how to communicate with it. Of course, we could take this automaton and try to use it as a communication device. Just take its arms off so it can't attack us.
The room that you're standing in, there's a door to the east. There is a door to the south. And there are 2 passageways in the north. One very small that you're pretty sure none of you besides Darna would be able to fit through. There are also a number of the alcoves that seem to be the recharging stations for the automatons. Oh, and the grate.
I want to explore the one that I am the only one that can fit through.
Perfect. And then, Chi, you're going to the one on the top left there? That passageway in the north?
Yeah, I'll check. Okay. Yeah, I'll check out the north one.
Go ahead and move yourself that way. And then, Dugat, what are you doing?
I'm going to hang out where Darna's going just in case I hear she needs help or something.
Okay, then you can...
I know I won't be able to fit in there, but maybe I can grab her and pull her out.
It's a thought that counts. All right, Uru, what are you wanting to do?
I want to look down this grate.
It looks very similar to the grates in the other chamber, except this one's at a height of 130 feet, or a couple 130 feet, you don't know. If you want to try and figure it out, you can drop something loose down there to listen for the splash and make a perception check.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about it. If it goes beyond my vision, I ain't jumping down, so...
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be that important.
I'll just give a quick little call out. Hello. Hello.
Okay. Okay. Then it'll go to Talith will basically hold position. She's keeping an eye on the stairs and maintaining your guys' defense. She's also watching the doors as well. Darna, once you get into the small alcove area, you see that the ground is sand, not salt. It's kind of a whitish colored sand. As you kind of peer around, you can see that there are kind of faint crystals throughout the walls here. They are salt, but they appear to have colors to them, kind of oranges and yellows, and there are some darker, more brusque, characteristically colors, like kind of a deepish, almost green, and the like. Then you would also note that, oh, that's why they weren't oh, I just figured out the problem we have with the initiative. I'm so smart. But anywho, there's also a big treasure chest. This one has a lock on it.
Is that me?
That's you, yeah.
Does the lock look like anything that we have seen?
Key-wise, no. It's not like the Allen wrench or anything. This one appears to be just a ornate dwarvish chest with a keyhole.
Can I pull it out of the alcove?
No, it looks like it's actually too big to fit through it. It's bigger than you are. Strange, I know. Chi, the passageway narrows a bit over to where you're at, but you're pretty sure that you can squeeze through, even with your plate armor. It's definitely going to be a squeeze, so escaping out of this chamber wouldn't be easy. But if you kind of move yourself around those corners there, you'll find yourself in a small chamber with white sand instead of salt as its ground, and 2 treasure chests in that chamber.
All right.
Yeah. And since you're kind of familiar with dwarven stuff, go ahead and make just an intelligence check for me while you're doing that.
You do that on purpose.
I mean, kind of. All right, and then Dugat, you're kind of watching between the two, maintaining. As you're kind of bouncing between the two, you also notice that there are square alcoves as well, and each one of them has, except for this one on the bottom side here, each one of them has a one of those weird servo things with the gemstone in the center. So a total of 3 more of those weird soul stone orbs if you want them. Never mind Chi. But yeah, 2 treasure chests, just like the one I explained for Darna. Keyhole treasure chests look like they're mainly made out of metal.
Can I try to break it?
Go ahead and make a strength athletics check.
Does nobody have thieves' tools?
I don't.
He does have proficiency in alchemist stuff, but no, he doesn't have thieves' tools. Darna, you start kind of walloping on the chest to no avail.
Can I try to break one of mine?
Give it a shot. Strength athletics. Same thing.
Good Lord.
Bunch of walloping, a lot of failure.
Can I like super inspect it to see if there's any other way to crack this open?
You can make an investigation check, sure.
Yeah, it's a hunk of metal. It looks pretty solid.
That is a box. Okay. Chi, do you want to do similar, or you good?
Yeah, I'll investigate.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not even sure it's a box.
You're not even sure who you are anymore. You're looking at the box and you're like, metal. Then you look at your hand, metal. Is Chi treasure chest 2? you don't know.
Okay. At this point, it's pissed me off. I want to take my hammer and hit it.
Fair. Okay. Go ahead and make a strength athletics check. Same situation.
There's a cat.
I know.
Good Lord, my rolls are sucking.
Cat butt. Cat
Am I
butt.
able to pick it up?
That is a cat butt. Look at his little stub tail. Yeah, you can pick yours up. That's just fine. There's another one though in the north end.
All right, I'll drag one of them out, and then can I come back and pick the other one up?
Yeah, a bunch of noise is made, and eventually Chi drags out 2 chests. While that's happening, Dugat, you're picking up those weird orbs, right?
Yes.
And Uru, you've been kind of quiet. What are you doing?
I was gonna go through this, just open the south door as quietly as possible by just walking right into it.
That's a brilliant idea. So, okay. Do you want to like listen into it first and then open, or are you just opening it and trying to peek through?
Damn, dude.
I might give it
very
a quick
didn't you?
listen, real quick.
So after kind of inspecting it and slowly opening it and listening and such, you see that on the other side there's a very loud sound of churning water and a very small chamber, maybe 10, 15 feet wide, that doesn't appear to have anything in it except for an open passageway into a very large open room that you can't discern from just kind of gazing out of the chamber.
All right, I found a way this way. Does someone want to go check the other door?
I'll check it, Uru, if you want to smash these open.
Why don't we just put them in the bag and then we can get someone to open them who might be able to open them without hitting them? Don't think I didn't hear you.
They weigh about 500 pounds apiece, and you already have about 600 in there already with the automaton. So
Good thing we have 2,000 pounds worth of space, right?
you're definitely getting close, is what I'm trying to tell you.
All right, so that puts us at what?
I think he figured out what a camera is.
1,100.
What a cute boy.
No,
Such a cute boy.
no.
You're such a cute boy. Okay, so anyways. Putting the 2 treasure chests from Chi's room into there. Okay. Do you want to send the bag along with Darna so she can put the last one in there? Because it won't fit.
You know what? You said they're 500 pounds?
Yeah.
Is Darna gonna be able to drag
She can't get it
that one
through.
in there?
No. The bag is smaller than the chest. But you could fit the chest in the bag. So if you wanted to send her along with the bag to get the chest, she could do that. But she's not getting it out any other way. What a doobie.
All right, I'm gonna take the full automaton out and just toss him on the ground, and we'll just keep those other pieces. And would I be able to discern whether I could get the 3 chests, that armor, and those arm pieces to all fit in there and be like maxed out?
2,000 is the max. The suit weighs 600. Took some effort to get it in there. The chests each weigh 500. So the orbs weigh 5 pounds. It's mostly just bronze.
Is that the suit of armor that I wore?
Yeah, let me wail on one of these chests again. See if we can get one open. That'll save some space.
If that's the suit of armor that I wore, I can wear it after I get back out of this little thing so that it doesn't help me, but it doesn't hurt me.
Donna, you are brilliant.
Maybe
And there's a cat.
it's just this fluffy, scruffy butt. Get out of there! Get out of there, Nolan, dumbo cat.
Typical DM cat.
I know, right? Okay, so anyways, I have a DM cat. Oh man, the focus on that's pretty good, though. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty high quality.
It is, I'm impressed.
Cat scruff. Anywho, so you go in, get the bag, move it out. Fine, great. Cool. I didn't miss anything in that, right?
I'm wearing the armor now, so that it's
Out
not in the
of
bag.
the bag, and Darna's gonna wear it
Okay.
on our way out.
So while you're in the suit, you cannot perform any class features. You cannot perform any like functions of your. You can't cast spells. None of your features apply to your stats. Your mental scores are all the same, but your physical scores while you're in it are 15, 15, 15. And again, like I said, and your speed is 30. But you don't have any of your class features or functions. So you can't be a monk, and you get a slam attack, which is basically going to act just like your fist, really. For everybody else, it's going to act just like her fist. It's a d6 damage. It's proficient.
So get this on the way out. Is that the plan?
And like I said, when you're in the
Is it
suit,
pretty easy to get on and off?
it's a bonus action to get in or out of it.
I'll wear it. I'll jump in and out of it as we need.
Okay. And just a note too, while you're inside of it, the air is much cleaner in the suit than it is outside. Make a perception check. Okay, you're not sure why that is. You don't have any idea. Anyway. And then we're going for the south door? Is that the thing we're doing?
Yep.
Okay.
I wanted someone to expect that there was an east door, you said?
There is an east door, yeah.
It was 2 in the south and 1 in the east, right?
1 in the south, 1 in the east, 2 in the north.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll check out the east door then.
Okay. It's closed, and it's completely flat with no mechanism to open it.
Uh-oh, another one of those doors. All right, let's go look in the other room, see if we can figure out how this one opens.
Okay. Bear with me here. My God, my cat. My cat! Every time I start clicking on something, his eyes are just like, what's this about? Okay. So you guys enter into a small chamber, which again, like I said, is about 10 feet by 15 feet maybe. In the room, there are only 2 things of note. Note number 1, on your left side when you first enter, is a large valve that comes up out of the ground, and connected to the base of that valve is a pipe. The pipe leads into the second thing in the room, which is a very large open just portal way that leads into a much larger open room. You can hear the sound of water churning coming from the larger room. And when I put you on the map here in a moment, I'm just going to put the berserkers first. Sounds fair. Map move.
Berserker.
You'd be able to kind of see that it looks like at the end of the portal way, there looks like there's a ladder down.
All right, I will begin to walk forward.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's a complete dead stop, but there does look like there's a ladder down into a nasty-looking grouping of water. The water that you're looking at, it looks filthy like the water back in Dighgrum. It kind of has a strange greenish pallor to it, but most of the water that you've been seeing is either greenish or bluish. And this appears to be kind of just really gross. And it does appear to be being churned by some mechanism underneath the water.
Okay, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be like, excuse me, out of my way, and I'm going to back up 10 feet, and then I'm going to run, and I'm going to jump, and I'm going to try and land on the center and superhero landing.
Okay. Do me a favor and make an acrobatics check. The first thing you notice as you start running is the ground is slick. And as you kind of get towards the ledge, you slip, hit your face first on the ground, power slide into the ladder, bump off of it, and fall about 20 feet and splash into the liquid beneath.
Hey!
I'm going to say...
Hey!
What?
They
Wrong
threw me in the
berserker.
water.
Wrong berserker.
Oh, wrong berserker. You guys look a lot alike. Oh, that's racist. I'm sorry.
That's racist.
Yeah, that's true.
Or it's classist, really. And you take, for just the fall of it, 8 points of falling damage. The liquid that you're in is very thick. compared to regular water. You've noticed that the water in Dighgrum kind of has like a viscosity to it, like an oily kind of quality to it. This appears to be that, but thicker. You're close enough to the ladder, however, to kind of just reach out and grab it and pull yourself up if you'd like.
I do that.
Okay.
That was really embarrassing.
It
Can I
was
turn this valve?
very embarrassing. Do you want to turn the valve? Is that a thing that you want to do?
Yeah, I'll turn it.
Okay. So as you're kind of prepared to turn it, you know how a valve typically will kind of turn until like an end point? This doesn't seem to be like that. It seems to be more like a switch. So it seems to switch into different points. From what you can tell, based on the number of spokes, it probably has 8 positions. How far would you like to turn it? How many clicks to the left or clicks to the right would you like to turn it?
Let's go all the way to the right.
Okay, so you're going to click it 8 times to the right, full circle?
Yep.
So you click
Seems
it.
like a bad idea.
The first one you start hearing
Probably
a strange from underneath, and as Uru's kind of getting up out of the water, you notice that the water is starting to spin quite a bit more quickly. You kind of start well, nope, none of that up the ladder. Being careful not to slip off. He clicks it again. It gets more deep and more, the water spins more brusquely. And as he continues to finally get it to that last point, you hear the water kind of just rushing, thrushing. And if you look down, it's just this madness of spinning water. Some fan blade or something underneath seems to be spinning the water about. Then he finally makes that last click to make it go full round circle to 8. And it locks, it stops. And when it does so, the water stops. Like the weird water sound underneath the water, the spinning blades stops. That's it. The water's still
It's all good.
The water's still spinning around from just inertia, but it doesn't sound like the mechanism is continuing.
Gotcha.
I broke it.
I'm gonna wait a little bit until it seems like it's calmed down before I maybe attempt to swim. Am I noticing like any dangers under the water potentially? Like no fan blades, nothing.
Nothing that seems to be too terribly noticeable right off. But as you kind of get settled up to the top and kind of look down there, paying attention, you see a form kind of moving in the water. And then you kind of look down at it and focus in on it, and you see 9 red eyes staring up out at you, and the shape appears very abolithian.
Jaws the
Turn the handle.
There's something in the water.
As you mutter that, you all see it slither around the column in the center, which goes up about 20 feet and has those weird things in it. It slithers from your side first, and then slithers out and around the back of it, and then comes up between the 2 bridges there, so that it's now on the opposite side, and it's kind of looking across at you. Let me go ahead and get the token. Hold on. Who here has seen the sleeper manifest itself so far? Has anybody? Has Uru seen it? No?
Nada.
Yeah, and she hasn't either, has he? Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. It takes its shape and kind of looks at you all. And with its weird lamprey-like mouth, it kind of opens it and speaks, and it says, "Oh, others." You, Darna, hear it speak Halfling. Chi, you hear it speak probably Celestial, I assume. Dugat, you hear it speak Orc. Uru, you hear it speak Orc. And Talus seems to be hearing it in the common tongue.
Just say, "Greetings, large tentacle monster thing. What are you?"
I am your doom. Who are you?
guy who's gonna make you into sushi.
I don't know that terminology, but I assume it's not a pleasant experience.
Could be for one of us.
He kind of focuses his 9 eyes in at Dugat. Dugat, make a wisdom saving throw. Yeah. So everybody watches as Dugat kind of like that, just suddenly. What you see, Dugat, is everything goes suddenly black, completely just shadow black. As you kind of like, what the? No one's present besides you in this black place. As you touch the ground, you notice that it ripples like water, but it seems to be solid. And then you see a form start to rise up out of the water, and
Is
just
it a
kind of
large nine-tailed fox?
no. It's a weird.
Okay, I was checking.
It's a weird humanoid-like form, but once it finally gets up to the water, you realize what it is. It's Herbifarge, Adarian Herbifarge, laying on his back. Laying on his back, his chest has been ripped open, and there are cuts all along his face. You recognize the cuts as the ceremonial, traditional torture methods of the Orcish tribes, specifically of your old
I'm
tribes.
freaking out, man.
You're pretty sure he's dead. Anything that would have those wounds would be dead, but he
Can I
starts
start-
coughing, and
can
he
I start
looks.
freaking out, trying to grab for anything to help,
Sure.
potion-wise, whatever?
Sure, but it doesn't seem like you have any tangible gear upon you. In fact, you look at yourself and you're completely naked. And you look down at him as he starts coughing and spasming and looking up at you. Come here. Come here, my student. Adept. And he reaches out to you with his hand.
I grab it.
As you do, you kind of just feel like just this euphoria. Everyone else, what you see is as he's and you kind of like look at him, this purple glyph appears on his head, right on his forehead. Ah. And after a moment, Dugat, you realize that you were just in a weird dream state, and you shake it off, the glyph going silent on his forehead.
I'm real mad now.
The creature with its 9 eyes kind of looks at you coyly, and then it looks at Uru and the others, and it says, I've gotten what I've come for. I wouldn't mind making another sludge pie out of you half-orc fiends. It grins, and then it just vanishes. It grins. It makes a weird face that looks happy, and it vanishes.
All right, what was that?
Do I feel like he took anything from me? Like, not physically, but like mentally or something like that? Or...
You feel like you were given this weird, horrible, like, visage, and then you also feel like you're now make a perception check. Actually, no one's ever asked that question, which is a really good question. You feel like you're being watched.
I start shaking and having spasms, and I grab for one of the potions and just take a good swig of it down to kind of
get
rid of some of the shakes or something.
Taking a swig, like drinking the whole potion, go ahead and roll me your. You don't have any hit points to gain. I don't think I've hit you, but roll a D1.
It's strictly the addiction.
Roll a D100.
He's scared. He feels so.
Yeah, you know the drill. Roll a D100.
Oh hell, I was joking about the potion addiction.
No. He real deal. Like, yeah. Oh, holy shit.
Let's get crazy.
This could be fun. Bear with me here for a second. Sorry, just checking my notes.
You become a tree again.
Yes.
That was fun times, but no, I think it's okay. Everybody in the room, make hold on a second. Everybody in the room.
Getting tipsy.
Oh god, this is hilarious. Everybody in the room, make a wisdom saving throw. And Chody, your con score is a plus, or your con modifier is a +3, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay.
Man, this sucks. I got a +4 on the freaking wisdom too.
I need Talith. Hold on. Again. Actually, if you have your character sheet and you can hear me, Kristen, go ahead and roll your own stuff. But if not, then I can go ahead and roll it for you. That's fine.
Do we get bonuses for being near the paladin?
Oh, yeah. Typical stuff, yeah.
I don't have any of the orders yet. So.
Yeah, he's only 5th level. He doesn't have
Ah, dang it. That's right.
You picked the wrong paladin is what happened. Just teasing. But looks like everybody failed, and you're automatically subjected to the effects because you drank it. Time seems to just slow down for you guys. Just feels... have you ever seen the movie Dread?
Oh, yeah.
That's literally what's happening to you guys right now. You guys are straight up tripping balls. It's
On slow-mo.
everything is just super slow for you. All because he drank a potion.
How am I doing while I'm trying to swim to the center platform?
Oh no, you jumped and swam towards the center platform, and now this? Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Technically, would he be close enough to take the
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
effects? All right, cool. Just checking.
Oh god. So the water's inertia is kind of slowed down, right? But like to you, it seems like the water's still, and you're swimming, but you just feel this sinking sensation, like everything's just lifting up. You're becoming smaller, maybe. You don't even know, and you start to go underwater. Blub, glub, glub.
I can breathe under this because of my necklace of adaptation.
Does necklace of adaptation work for
Very true.
liquid?
Anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
I hear you.
Can you hear us?
You do hear me?
Yes.
Sounds like you're in a hole.
She's in a public place.
Ah.
She's not trying to yell at her computer or anything. It makes sense.
It includes underwater or a vat of snot or
Huh. We need an IT guy. That's what we need.
I know one.
Yeah, well, we should get him in this game.
Yeah, it's Ellis, man.
I'm not an it guy. I'm a that guy.
Does Ellis want to play Dungeons and Dragons for the West Marches and help all my people get stuff fixed, especially me?
I have tried for years to get him to try it.
Fair enough. Anywho, everybody just seems really slow, and you go underneath. I'm checking the necklace of adaptation to see if you can breathe water with it.
sage advice says yes.
Any environment, and you have advantage on saving throws made against harmful gases and vapors. That's so just vague.
Sage advice from Jeremy Crawford himself says underwater or in a vat of snot.
Cool, and that's kind of where you're at. Wow, that's perfect. All right, well then I'll go with that. That item is hella good. Noted. So yeah, you're just under there. Glub glub. Breathing fine, I guess. If you guys are waiting out the slow-mo effect, it's going to take about 10 minutes. If you guys are not waiting
I'm just looking at my hands going, cool.
Tripping the balls. All right, eventually you kind of wake to it, and Uru, if you're just hanging out, looking around, you would see that underneath because the water's about 20 feet deep, and you're kind of at the bottom of it right now. At the very base, there are not so much blades, but blades that kind of connect to the bottom. You'd assume there's about 8 of them, and from what you can tell, if they were spun, they'd probably cause the water to churn.
Like a centrifugal pump.
Kind of like a centrifugal pump. There are also handles above each of the blades that you can see, and dwarvish markings on all about the place underneath.
no passageways, no valve, cranks, or anything like that under here? Anything of interest?
Yeah, so if you look around the entirety of the room from your position, basically you've got the column that goes 20 feet underneath the water, because it also goes 20 feet above it. And then the blades are on the base of it, and they're probably about 3-4 feet high, and flat, not plated like this. And the dwarven markings in the root, or the handles above each of the blades. You can kind of see from the mechanism that the handles would spin as well. And that's really it. There's just flat surface on the outside.
Hey, if you grab one of those handles, I'll start cranking the wheel.
Let go, see what happens.
That's fine. I'm gonna swim up to the top once, or attempt to once this slow-mo wears off.
Yep. Once you have your senses about you, you easily get back to the surface. And yeah, you're at the surface. You're 20 feet below the ledges, and also the top of this column in the center.
Am I able to attempt to climb it at all? Is there any? Does it look like there's handholds?
It's completely just flat and smooth and slick.
I'm gonna climb up the ladder,
Okay.
and then if no one has any better ideas about how to get across, I'm gonna draw attempt number 2.
I got a rope. I can send the rope out and have it tie itself off, and we can use the rope to. I can either send it to the roof to tie it off, or we can swing across, or I can send it across, we can tie it off, and we can climb across it.
Okay.
That would work for me.
Maybe do some acrobatics if I need to.
How high is the ceiling?
Ceiling's 20 feet high from the ledges. So basically, it's a 60 from floor to ceiling, 60 feet.
So it's 60 foot up from where we're at.
No. So from the floor where Uru was a second ago, where the blades are based, to the water surface is 20 feet. From the water surface to the ledges is 20 more feet. And then from the ledges to the ceiling is 20 feet. 60 feet cylinder.
Gotcha.
But
does it look like there's anything on the top that'll I could use to tie a rope off of?
Not so much. It looks like, it looks like on your side you could tie it to either the ladder or you could tie it to the valve. On the center column piece, it looks like you might be able to tie it to that center piece. Doesn't look like it's going to be very helpful. There's nothing like it'll just slip right up. You get what I'm saying? But if you can get it over to those bridges, you might be able to swing it in between those grate portions and tie it in there. And then you're not sure, but there are a couple of pipes along the wall. Can you see those?
Yeah.
Those look like you might be able to tie off too.
All right, I will tie it off to the ladder here, then send it across to the bridges and have it tie off on the bridges.
Okay. Yeah. So he pulls out this black rope, unlooses it, and it starts moving of its own accord. It heads over to one position over on the ladder, all while the back end of it is tying itself off to the ladder on your side. It then cinches itself and becomes tight. So there is a rope connected from both points.
Right, Uru will go across.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. Okay. The thing that you find most distressing as you're climbing the rope is, even though it's only been out in the air for a very short time, it has a slickness to it. But you manage to get yourself out down there, kind of climb over, get to the ledge, kind of pull yourself up on the rope and get yourself onto the center portion. You can see that there are chambers beyond in each of these small little ledge spaces, but you're not sure what's in each of them because it seems that it kind of ducks away into alcoves.
All right, I'll go ahead and let the others cross. I'll bring up the back of it.
Okay.
And I'll slowly scout ahead.
Okay. Which bridge do you want to take?
The right side, right south.
Okay. You head on down. Go ahead and move yourself over that way. Come around and you see that the valve, or the pipe that you saw on the outside seems to connect to a strange kind of metal box. And on top of that box is a valve, smaller than the one in the main chamber that you saw, but certainly um, uh, similar in style. This one looks like a genuine regular valve. It doesn't look like it has set points that it turns to.
Just in case before everyone, or so everyone gets across first, I'm going to wait till everyone's across, and then I'll attempt to turn it.
Okay. So, everybody's coming across on the rope? Or you
I
guys?
really want everybody's across.
Yeah, if you guys want to go on the rope, I mean, that's up to you. If that's the option that you're nominating.
I can't hear anybody else. Can't even say anything.
I mean, nobody else is talking, so that's probably why you can't hear them.
All right, well, I'll go across then, since everybody's kind of sitting here looking at me.
Sure. I just think they're a bit more, nervous about the idea of climbing across the rope, so go ahead and make an athletics check. Okay. You guys watch as Chi kind of like gets under there and kind of starts moving towards it. He slips and falls straight into the water. And
Can I take a second rope
take 11 points of bludgeoning as you smash into the water. Go ahead.
to myself and maybe get somebody that had crossed the bridge? I forget his name. Uru? Was that Uru?
Mm-hmm.
Back over to the middle and help me across?
Yeah, so basically you're effectively kind of wrapping the rope, cinching it to yourself, putting it over the ledge, throwing him the line, and basically using kind of like an eye knot to pull yourself along the taut rope of climbing.
Yes.
It's really smart. So yeah, again, no problem. And you have the rope tied to yourself. You toss the other end over to him. Uru, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, takes a couple of tries to get it over to him, but eventually he gets the rope. Again, just takes about a minute or two. You kind of have this look on your face that's typical Kate. You know what I'm talking about? Like that you're just annoyed because he sucks at it. And eventually he gets it, and you pull her across.
To be fair, I've spent like the last 5 minutes clearing boogers out of my lungs and every other place.
That does not make me any less annoyed.
Yeah. Okay, so you can go ahead and put yourself in the middle there, Donna.
I ask if anybody that's still over there would like to have the rope thrown to them.
Do we need to throw the rope down to the paladin who's currently sinking into boogery water?
He manages to pull himself back up onto the ladder. It's fine. He just takes the damage. It's a real penalty.
Hey, Dougal, are you coming over, or are you gonna wait over there?
Cho?
Yeah, sorry, I was cleaning something up.
Are you going to do a smart method, or are you going to do a stupid method?
I would prefer the smart method. Has time sped up yet?
Yeah, well past that. So you get the rope, cinch it like Darna did, toss it over to Uru. It takes him a couple of tries to get a hold of it, but Darna actually helps out and catches it pretty quickly, gives him a look, and then hands him the rope. And then Uru kind of pulls the other half-orc barbarian across the middle line.
I think I'll be taking the smart method next time.
Okay. Talith will do a smart trick. She's got rope. And she makes her way out into the middle there. Okay. And do you have rope besides the rope of climbing?
Yep. 50 foot of hint.
You manage to pull, yourself across with Uru's assistance. But before you kind of get across, just to kind of clear out the platform a little bit, Darna, it looks like you're kind of heading towards the bridge. Are you going to head down that way?
I'm gonna wait till everybody is out here.
Okay.
Unless I don't think that this pillar can hold everybody.
It doesn't seem to be it doesn't seem to be any problem. Though, make a perception check, actually. Yeah, okay. Something about the platform that you're standing on feels uncomfortable in that it seems to be setting inside of a hole, not setting like in a foundational base. It seems like the pillar itself, the column itself, might be able to depress a bit. And actually, because of Chi's weight on the rope and all of your guys' positions there, it would actually start to kind of depress just a little bit. And after a foot of descent, it kind of clicks and locks. Once that happens, the water kind of gives way and starts to descend down. And basically, what you see is like a netting, a grid of just small little holes. And immediately, as the water kind of hits a low point of maybe 6 inches on the ground, and you can see those holes, spikes jut up from them.
I move across this bridge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You look in there. If you go 1 step forward more, or maybe 2 steps forward more, you'd see that the pipe ends with a valve at it. There are 3 small alcoves, similar alcoves to the machine thing, and then in this room is a lever on the southernmost wall. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. The lever appears to be in the throne position, so it's down.
I ask everybody if they would like for me to switch the lever or if they would like to move first.
Can we move first?
Yep.
Actually, you all move. I'll stay on the thing.
Okay. If you're moving, Talith is also going to stay with Chi, so she's not going to move. She's going to stay center point. Dugard, if you want to move, you can go ahead. That's some fine-looking puppers you got there, sir.
Thank you.
It's actually got my cat's attention. He's off screen, but he's just watching them doggos. I got his attention with the mouse. So easy, this boy. Okay, cool. Throwing the lever. The second you do, Talith and Chi both witness the door opposite you guys. So this one here shuts.
The one we came through?
And the one you came through shuts. Now, when you open the door to the south, it was just a regular door that, like the first one that you saw, the very first door. Stone door, metal fitting, push open. Ta-da. When this one closes, when that door to the behind you closes, a steel sheet just right up. And the same is true of the one on the bottom. A steel sheet just rises up from the floor and slams into position. So when the lever is raised, the doors are up.
The door that we came in and the door that is in between where I'm at and Uru's at.
So the door you came in and the door in the bottom middle. The door at 6 o'clock.
Okay. You want me to see what this does if I turn it the other way?
It's not a turning, it's a lifting and up and down. It has 2 settings.
Oh, okay.
If you push it down, it'll go back to the way you had it before.
Okay. What are in these alcoves?
They look like those same alcoves that the automatons stand in. They're empty. And then there's the valve.
I turn the valve one click.
Well, this one doesn't turn clicks. This one's like a real valve. It's either on or it's off.
I turn it slowly.
Okay. You would note that water seems to be flowing out from your position into the pipe that you're kind of standing near, is what it sounds like. You're allowing water to flow into the pipe.
I asked them if it did anything.
Doesn't seem to have done anything. But it seems
shut
to
it
be
back
set
off.
on. Okay, now it's in the off position. Okay, well that's happening. Half-orc buddy cop movie. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to attempt to turn the valve as well and see what it does.
Same thing. Pipe seems to be allowing water to flow out from it into the pipe.
Can I try to walk on this pipe around?
You can give it a shot. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. You can definitely try it.
It doesn't look easy.
Do you want to make an acrobatics check, or do you want
can
to try and
use
like Lara
a
Croft
rope.
it? Do you want to like Lara Croft it and do that thing?
Would that be strength?
That'd be athletics, yeah.
I would rather do athletics.
And your wife did just say something really smart. You might want to listen to your wife.
You might want to take a rope and tie it around you and around the pipe so that
that-
it can assist you.
Pretty smart.
That'll work.
Okay.
I'll do that as well.
Okay, make me a dexterity check. Just dexterity raw. No, you're tying the rope to yourself into the thing. Okay, now go ahead and make an athletics check. Okay, you manage to hold on and just do fine and make it over to this position over here. Hold on, my thing tried to draw this position over here to the 3 o'clock, if you will. And when you kind of pull yourself up onto the ledge, you forget about the rope. You don't even think about it, but it doesn't seem to hold on to you, and it just kind of comes loose and is now laying on the ledge near you.
Okay.
Like, had you fallen, it wouldn't have done you any good. Okay, you move in. There's another valve. Yeah.
I tell them that there's another valve, and
This-
I'm going to turn it.
Hold on a second. This one also has 4 alcoves. None of them seem to be filled. And then there's a small kind of just open space south of you. Set inside of the wall is a shelf, like it's set into the wall. And on the shelf there are a series of tools.
Can I look at them?
Yeah, they look like dwarvish tools. They look like tinkerer's tools. Seems to be a set of them if you want to pick it up and take it.
Yeah, I'll grab them for right now.
Sure.
And
Okay.
Spin.
Spin. You hear water rushing out.
I look back and see what happens.
Nothing.
Okay. I tell them there's one more valve over on the next one over.
I gotta make it in.
What are you doing?
I told the group that there's another
Oh, no.
valve on the next one over.
No, I know. I got that. But what was... I think Jeremy said something. What are you doing, Aru?
I had to see if the water treatment plant guy and me would actually want to try it out. Seeing the 2 pipes go in that direction, I'm also, as soon as he turns on the water and I hear that rushing, I'm going to turn on the other one.
Okay. So you currently have these 2 pipes, the one that Dugot's in front of and the one that you're in, flowing water. Okay.
Now
I
this
asked
one,
them if they want me to go back and turn on the other side.
What's the worst that could happen?
And I turn this one on.
Water seems to be flowing. They don't seem to be connected.
And then I would like to tie the rope around me and the pipe and walk across the pipe using acrobatics.
Dexterity check first for the rope. So you're very smart and keen with ropes because you've been on boats for a lot of your childhood and youth. being a river folk. You know that every time you tie a knot, you want to make sure that there's none of this nasty grime and grease inside of it, so the knot isn't basically weakened because of its looseness and the slickness therein. And you tie a very exorbitant knot on yourself, so you're absolutely held. Throw it over, wrap it around, and basically form kind of just a belt, really. And then walk across. So if you were to fall, you could pull yourself back up. Make an acrobatics check. More than good. You can go ahead and move to that next ledge if you'd like. All right. So the one in here seems to have a very similar structure to the one that we just discussed with Chody, but this one, the valve actually is larger. It's not the small variant with the box underneath it.
I tell everybody this one's different.
How's it different?
I tell them what it looks like.
Okay.
Does it look like the first one that has the 8 spokes or whatever?
Yes, it does.
I tell them it looks like that one. I'm going to move it 1 click.
Okay. And when you do move it 1 click, to the right or left?
Left.
Okay. When you move it to the left, you hear it click in position. And those of you who are kind of paying attention, it sounds like there's a bit of water kind of flowing from that direction. You hear a and those of you that are in the middle start to see the pipe in between where Darna is and where Darna was start to kind of shake a bit. That pipe there.
Maybe we should check that other passageway too, or maybe it works like the other one where if you turn it all the way on, everything stops.
What do you want me to do?
Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off.
Turn it 1 to the right.
Okay. Dugat, I'm assuming you're making your way towards the last one?
Was that the pipes that were right
Yeah.
there?
Since there's 2 of them, can I just walk across them, or do
You can attempt to walk across, but it'll be an acrobatics check.
I'm going to use athletics.
And you're going to tie a rope to yourself first?
I will try.
Dexterity check.
1 moment.
And athletics. You make your way across. The rope doesn't seem to have been as tight as you thought when you pull yourself up. It doesn't just fall off you like the last time, but yeah. You see the 2 pipes run to a larger mechanism, like the one in the first room. Do you turn it? And if so, how much and in which direction?
I'm going to turn it 1 click to the left.
Okay. You turn it to the left. So, hold on. Sorry. Okay, got it. I need Chi, Uru, and Talith to make dexterity saving throws. All right.
I'm causing problems in this group.
Why do you have advantage? Oh, yeah, I guess it is technically a trap. That works. 13 was the DC, so it looks like Chi's the only failure. Bear with me here. I'm trying to make the thing happen. All right, so the middle column spins, the bridge is with it. Talith kind of jumps down and grabs hold of the the bridge. So does Uru, and she just kind of spirals off to the side and flies off the thing. You take 11 points of damage. 5 of it is from falling, and actually no, sorry. Oops. I did my math wrong. Bear with me here. So that would be one of the spikes. So 2 more spikes. Got it. So it'll be a total of 76. 4 of which is bludgeoning, falling damage, and then the last 3 are piercing. So you're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bludgeoning damage and 12 piercing damage as you fall off the middle column onto the spikes down below. It hurts.
Yeah.
And be thankful you're immune to disease. Okay.
Is there anything in these alcoves?
No, these ones are empty on your side as well.
Can I throw Chi a rope?
You've got plenty of them, yeah.
All right. Well, he's throwing the rope down. I'm doing 25 points of lay on hands.
Lay on hand, yep. All right. And once you're down here...
Magical rope?
Yeah, there's a magical rope. Actually... Ooh. Hold on a second. How would that work? Okay, so it's just slack. It's actually connected to this one here, that bridge on the north end, and it's just kind of like loosely hanging in between that and the ladder on the north side.
You might want to have it untie itself.
Yep. When I get back up there, I'll grab it.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you can walk through the spikes down here, no problem, once you pull yourself.
Actually, I can have it untie off the ladder on the far side and just climb up and then untie it.
Absolutely true as well, yeah. Do you want to
All right, so I'll have it untie of the ladder.
Okay. And it's
then
50...
I'll climb up.
It's 50 foot in length, right?
Yeah.
And how much does it take to knot it?
5.
Okay, so you'll probably want to do that before you start climbing up. I'll need an athletics check regardless because it is slick with grime. It's been in here for more than a couple of seconds.
Man, my checks fucking rolled here.
I'd say you just didn't make it up. You're trying to climb, you're trying to get your footing, and you're slipping off and not even falling off yet. You didn't fail by more than 4. But, yeah, you're having a hard time of it. Let's see.
If somebody throws you a second rope and assists you.
Yep.
Uru will grab the extra rope and throw it to him and double hold.
Okay, you guys managed to pull them up if there's a team effort and you're just tying it to them and pulling them. That's fine. Yeah. Chody, you're in that room. You're kind of looking at them and seeing that they're having a fun field day. Do you want to do anything? Like, you want to actually make a perception check for me.
I'm gonna go ahead and untie the rope while she's doing it.
Sure. Okay, you're well aware of what's going on outside then. You know that the paladin fell off, smashed into spikes, and they're helping him out. And it's all your fault.
Oops.
The alcoves are empty, but
I come out and say, this one seems to move the bridge.
there is a switch on the southern wall of that chamber.
I tell them there's also a switch, and if they want me to pull it.
Well, we've already pulled one switch. What could one more hurt, right?
I go pull the switch.
Okay, it clicks. This one was in the up position, and you put it in the thrown position, and nothing seems to happen. Nothing that you can see anyway. Now, those of you that are out on the thing, go ahead and make a perception check. Really good, Chi. Since you were kind of,
Yeah, it's about time.
I mean, right? Since you were kind of looking down at the spikes anyways, with a hateful menace and like, oh, you see that the tops of them are not perfectly sharp. They kind of seem to be like seared off at the end with kind of like a hollow um, tube-like top to them. And after he throws the switch, you notice that they start kind of leaking or like crying this weird purplish liquid.
Okay, that's just wrong on so many levels. I tell the others, hey, look at that.
You made it worse!
Flip the switch back.
Yeah, he throws the switch back, but it still seems that the spikes are now coated in this weird purple liquid.
Well, that's not good. Do you think you could get it to click like one more time over? And maybe we should tie some ropes to these bridges, or maybe Chi doesn't end up falling off again.
Yeah, that'd be a good. I want to lay down and
Can
tie
you-
myself to the
I was
bridge.
gonna say,
Lay down,
tie
everybody
yourself
just-
to the middle.
Just strap him down with ropes. Tie the paladin down to the bridges. Perfect. You guys brace yourself for movement. You can. Are you going to turn it? You turned it to the right last time.
No, I turned it
Oh,
to
sorry.
the left.
That's right. You turned it once to the left. What are you wanting to turn it to now?
I'll turn to the left again.
It does not move.
Turn
Try
to
the other
right.
way, maybe.
You're turning it once to the right or twice to the right or more to the right?
Twice to the right.
Turn it. The second you do, you hear click and it starts to kind of move again. And everybody on it kind of, oh, and
I'm laying down, taking a nap, tied to the bridge.
sorry, bear with me.
Damn, I'll be right back again.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but you get the point. It's now connecting 3 o'clock and 12 o'clock.
I want to turn this valve the other way, but I warned everybody before I do. I turned it one click to the left last time, and then I turned it back off. I want to turn it one click to the right.
Okay. The pipe doesn't seem to make any noise or anything. It doesn't seem to do anything once it's in the other position. And yeah, this one, just like the one that Chody's dealing with, it's either left or right, and it's click one or the other. That's it.
You said it was like the first one that we saw.
No, yeah, I know, but I said the one that Chody's dealing with is like the one that you saw from the first one too, but it doesn't turn more than once to the left or more than once to the right once you start manipulating it. So if you set
Okay.
it back to initial and then turn it the other direction, nothing happens. If you turn it the way that you initially turned it, which was to the right for you, if I remember correctly,
Left.
that's okay, fine. Left. For you, right does nothing, and for you, left makes the pipe shake. For
And maybe
Chody,
we should check that one last alcove.
I'm going there now, tying the rope.
Dex check, and then acrobatics. Okay, and then acrobatics.
Oh, I did not tie this one well.
Okay.
But I don't need it.
You kind of, once you get across, you feel kind of dumb as the rope slips free and it cinches away very easily. You kind of like can hear your Uncle Gemwich just yelling at you like you made a bad mistake. Or you remember a story about how Uncle Gemwich once fell into a pit of a nest of vipers because he didn't tie a good rope. He, of course, fought them and defeated them all, but yeah.
But he wouldn't have had to have done that had he tied it correctly.
If he had tied a good rope, those vipers wouldn't have had to die. You see, just like the first one that you went into, a valve set on a box. But in this room, sorry, hold on a second. The alcoves are not empty. The one on the north side has one of the newer automatons, and it does seem to have purple glowing eyes and glowing core. It's not moving, though. Hold on, that's not what I wanted. But that is what it looks like.
Cat.
It looks like a cat.
There we go. Hey, kitty cat.
I tell them there's one of those things over here.
Is it moving or being aggressive at all?
It's glowing purple, not currently moving.
You want
Is
one
this
of
in
us to
the
come
alcove
on?
without the bridge, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
No bridge. But
Needle.
we can maybe turn the bridge again?
I
Is
can
there
try to.
another valve to turn on over there?
Yes.
Do you want one of us over there to keep you company before we
Yes.
turn it?
Yes, because my attacks did not do anything to the last one of these very much.
I'm gonna turn the thing to try to get to where it's on her side.
Right or left? You got two options that you can switch it to, or just send it back to the middle. What are you doing?
Right.
Okay, and that was the first time you switch it. So remember how it was positioned the first time you moved it? So it connects to you in the south. Hold on a second here. Just taking the whole thing with me, I guess. Hold on. Here we
So
go.
basically, what we can determine from that is it only connect, like when you move it left or right, it has 3 positions for that valve selector.
So the right position, which was the first position he threw, is current. It's how you're seeing it in its formation. The left position is how it was before, connecting 12 and 3 o'clock. And then how it initially started in the first place, which was connecting 5:30 and 4:30, or I'm sorry, 7:30 and 4:30, the two diagonal on the opposite sides of 6. That's the center position.
So it just has 3 click positions. Gotcha.
Correct.
So we can't make it to where it's just on her side then.
Yeah, we need to get the
Not
other
from
part.
that valve.
No, we can do the ropes again.
Is there a way I can athletically jump across?
You want to get
To
another?
I
it?
can
you wanna give
tie
another go?
a rope to the pipe and toss it across to you. If you also use the magic rope and have it tie itself to the pipe, then he would have 2 ropes to help him across.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
fine.
can do.
If you're
Uh,
taking,
Good idea. I'm so glad we didn't bring Typhon along this time.
I will send my rope across and have it tie off.
okay, and then you use the other rope to cinch across. And Darna, you're going to be pulling Uru across, right? Or who's going across?
I was going to go across Azuru.
So you're the guy? Okay. All right, go ahead and put yourself over there. It's not going to take much effort to do that. I mean, Darna's a little less strong than everybody else in this group, but she manages to pull you across slow enough. It's slippery. It's an easy line to pull. You see the automaton, and if you move forward 1 square, you'll see a switch.
I will position myself in front of the automaton. Oh my goodness. Automaton and let her twist the valve.
I'll go ahead and yell out, "Hey, automaton, what are you doing standing over there?"
So you're prepared to fight the automaton. She's going to throw the switch, right?
Yeah, I'm like shield ready, hammers ready.
Okay. Are you? And this is a valve that is either on or off, by the way, Darna. So you're turning it on, right?
Yep.
Okay. The second you do, the automaton steps forward and brings its clinger hand towards Uru. Uru, you were preparing to attack it, so go ahead and make your attack. That's the way to start the day. First attack will miss. Second attack will crit. Your hammer doesn't seem to be doing as much as you'd like because it's not magical.
Of course not.
Oh, and also your crit damage is wrong. Wait. Yeah, your crit damage is wrong. No, you're an orc. You roll an extra dice. That dice is rolled.
Yes.
But the dice that you normally get for critting is maxed. Okay, perfect. Good. It's doing it right.
Okay, since he's over there, I will go ahead and throw my hammer at the automaton, and then Uru can pick it up and use it.
I'll give it cover. Go ahead and make the attack. Because you're kind of throwing it through a hallway and trying to hit it. But even if you miss, you're getting the desired effect in some regard. Go ahead and throw it.
I did 27 crit.
All right. It's rethinking all of its life choices, and it's pretty sure it just wants to just hang out in the alcove and just forget about whatever it was trying to do initially.
And I'll yell at Uru, use that hammer.
The
Just
hammer
don't break it.
slams into it and then kind of falls to the ground. Okay.
I
Darna,
shut the valve off.
you shut the valve. You turn the valve on, right? But you're
I
gonna.
turned it on, but if I turn it off, does this guy go back to his cave?
He seems to be continuing to act. On the initiative cycle, what we'll do, just for simplicity's sake, is it will go, and then you guys will go in an order that's just dexterity based. Is that fair? Speed. Okay, cool. So it's gonna. Like I said, it goes. That's not fair. Let's do the fair thing. You guys first, then it goes. You were prepared. It wasn't. Darna, you're the highest of the dexterity lot. I think you're one of the highest dexterities in the entire cavern camp. So do you want to turn it off? That's a free action. Doesn't seem to change the mood of the thing. You want to beat it its ass, or what do you want to do?
Yes.
All right, get in there and start punching it. It'll miss. That'll hit. Bonus action attack one last time, or yep, that'll hit as well. So 7 plus 13, half is 6. So okay. All right. She throws in a couple of kidney shots at its metal frame. Seems pretty good shots. Okay, then it'll go next highest dexterity. I believe would be Talith. I think. She will ready. She can't really get a good aim where she's at. She's gonna kind of move over here though. But remember, she's also tied down, just like Chi still is, just in case. So she's readying. If it's visible, she's going to take a shot. Next highest dexterity is definitely not Chi, I don't think. You got an 8, don't you? What's your dex? Slow, isn't it? Anywho. Jugot, is there anything you want to try to do? Because I know what Jeremy is going to do. He's going to attack it. So go ahead and get that out of the way.
I can't really get over there, so
Yeah,
no,
that's
I'll
fine.
watch.
Actually, Jeremy, yours is higher than Talith, so go ahead and, you should have gone before. All right.
Shield bash.
Okay. It's currently set in its settings, so for this attack, it actually has advantage for its athletic check. So it'll succeed. Its feet are locked in the ground still. It hasn't moved.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into.
Grab his hammer.
I'm just gonna pick up his hammer. I'm assuming it's gonna behave like my war hammer.
It's actually
Yeah,
make a worthiness check. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. You pick up the hammer.
it's a +1.
You're not attuned to it though, so you won't be able to get the Hammer of Storms features. You can't throw it and get it back.
Yeah, I figured.
It's just a +1 weapon for you.
Okay. So I'll just roll my
magical.
regular war hammer
Yeah, just use the stats
after the roll.
and we'll add +1 to it. It's fine. That's a miss. And then that's a miss. Oh, that's a bad miss. All right, and then that would be the last one. So it'll get a go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, because I already hit it.
Yep, it is going to bonus action remove itself from its setting. And then it's going to, as one attack, attempt to charge or bull rush. Push, I guess, shove is what it's called, I think now. Yeah, shove, that's the one. Uru. So go ahead and make your athletics check or acrobatics if you prefer. All right. It's going to knock you prone and kind of just come over top of you. Step down here. It seems to move itself into a defensive position for the valve, and it's going to just reach down to try and grab you with its claw hand. It's kind of like a slam attack. And take 17, and give me one more athletics check. Okay, as it hits you with its hand, the claw hand goes and tries to clamp down on you, and you kind of no, out of the clampy hand. All right, that is it. So it goes back up to Darna punchy time, and then Jeremy, you're up next. So just throw your guys' attacks. Okay, hit. So 16 plus 9 is 25. 25 halved is 12. And yeah, miss and hit. And that is spot on. So you're on the ground. You kind of rise up off the ground, bring the hammer up, and swing. It goes wide. As it kind of comes back and around, you swing it back in and catch it right in the chest. You see the glass shatter. It kind of falls back. Black mist starts flying out of its chest, and that purple energy arises out of it. And you can see the inert soulstone set in its chest.
Right, I just heave a sigh, I pick up my hammer, and I'll just pocket the other hammer until I'm across to give it back to Chi.
And this one had kind of a faint young boy's scream.
Really making me feel bad about this.
Oh, I know. That's the goal. When I say young boy, I mean teenage.
Good thing you're not a Catholic priest.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. But yeah, you take the body and chuck it aside, I assume. Are you going to turn the valve back on?
Yes, I'm going to turn the valve back on.
Okay. And then, Darna, you're going to go back over and do the thing with the center valve, right?
With the center valve, the one that made all of the noise?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys want me to do?
Absolutely.
Okay. If that's the case, just give me a dexterity and then an acrobatics. See if you make it across. And then I'll give you the final reveal before I go use... okay, you're fine. Basically, if you turn it to the left on this one, it's going to connect the two on the left side that are not the center. And then if you turn it to the right on this one, it's going to connect the one that Darna's in and the bottom. So let me show you that again here. Hold on. Stop it. Stop it. Left. And right. And if you leave it to the center position, if you put it in the center position, it'll put it right back to the two middle. In actuality, too, sorry, something I totally forgot, but you guys are strapped down. When she turned the second valve, Dugat, on your side, the water stopped flowing in the pipes that you're near, and it actually reset back to the starting position. I need to take a break real quick. I'm going to use the restroom. So feel free to discuss amongst yourselves what the plan is, and when I get back, have a good idea of what you're going to do. All right, be right back.
I'll be right back.
Has anybody figured out what the hell is going on?
So we're just moving the bridges.
Yeah.
We just made it so we can go to the south hallway without having to go over pipe or jump and have stuff to
someone's
tie
got to
onto.
go back into that room and unlock the south hallway door, right?
I can do that, no problem.
Okay. Well, then we can do that and go south.
So I can turn it to the left to let Uru come to the center, and then I'll turn it to the right to have it where it's currently at.
Okay.
And then
before you do that, let me untie my rope.
From where he's at?
Remember I sent it over to where
Yes.
that last lever?
We're just making the plan, right? We're not doing it until John comes back.
Right. Cat back there chilling on the back of the couch. Damn, Jeremy, what is that headset you got?
About the cheapest thing you can buy. It even lights up. changes colors.
No, the cheapest thing you can buy is what I got on my head.
This was only $30-some on Amazon, I think. It was on sale over
This
Black
was
Friday.
$19.99 at Office Depot.
I got a few of those. I was using the headphones that come with your cell phone for a while.
Yeah, but this new mic, I love this new mic. Like I said, right now it's about 1.5 feet away from my face, and I'm just talking normal.
I gotcha. I needed a new mic. If you're going to be DMing, you better have a half decent mic, I guess.
Yeah, this one's called, well, it says Blue on the front. Well, I sent you the link.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at their headsets, though. I like the one that was $699. I'm like, man, that thing better make me smarter and have sex with me at the same time for that price.
Yeah, I'm pretty cheap. That's why I got this thing. It was one of the few that were within a half decent price range where I was like, I just need a mic.
Yeah, but $700 for a headset? Come on.
Heck yeah, all the kinds of surround sounds.
And you still owe me from hurting them horses.
You can't keep spawning random horses that you don't own.
Oh, I just pick them up in town. I don't know who they belong to.
Then I owe other people for those horses.
I healed them. Ooh, Tinker's tools. I forget what the hell I'm fishing. I know Smith tools and something else. Nope, just Smith tools. No. I can speak Common, Celestial, Elvish, and Dwarvish, though.
I'm just getting Tinker tools because I'm going Battle Master and will eventually be able to tinker.
Hey, one of my other Western marches, I got a Goliath gunslinger. So Tinker's tools and smithing tools. It's sweet.
Yeah, just going tinkering because of the whole thing with the Celia, the NPC, and Uru looking after him. It's like he's got to figure out how to fix her because he doesn't know mending.
Yeah. I don't even have mending. I think that's cleric, isn't it?
Barrack wizards.
I don't get to learn any new spells until 7th level.
I will never have spells, though eventually superiority die.
There's actually a barbarian archetype in Xanathar's Lost Notes to Everything that is a spellcaster barbarian.
Yeah, there's some
You
interesting
give up
barbarians.
your
I'm back.
damage resistance to be able to cast spells.
Hmm.
And he also got the rogue archetype they got is a rogue healer.
Talking about Xanathars?
Xanathar is lost notes to everything.
Oh, that's the DM's Guild one, right?
Yeah, but it's actually Wizards of the Coast said they're cool with it. So.
It's Adept. It's D&D Adept, or the DM's Guild Adept stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I'm not cool with it.
Ooh, I learned one more third level. Did I get my spells wrong?
John,
Yeah,
Oh, I'm looking for
the
it.
plan
give it to
is
me.
to turn these to the left so that Uru can make it to the middle.
I'm getting my rope first.
We could just do all the rope thingies and then just leave the valve.
You are going to, like you said, you're going to do the thing so that Uru can get to the middle. Okay, that's fine.
And then I'm going to turn it the other direction to the right so that it hits my thing in the bottom.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to tie a rope around me and the pipe and go back to the first alcove that I went into, which will be the one to the south.
Yeah, and are you going to turn the water off, or are you just going to hit the switch?
I'm going to hit the switch.
Okay, that'll open up the gate for them to pass through.
Do I need to do the dexterity thing?
Yeah, go ahead. I guess there's still a threat. Don't worry about making an acrobatics check. It's fine. If you get the dexterity check for the first one and your rope's not going to fall, I don't care about the other part. Because you could literally just flop like a fish over to the other side so long as you're tethered to the pipe. It's fine. But yeah, you go ahead and get on over there and hit the switch and the door opens. Okay, and then you're going to... Are you going to turn the valve or no?
Was not going to turn the valve.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Wait, did we get the other guy from the other side?
Yeah, hold on. I'm working on that. Perception check.
I noticed nothing.
Okay, Dugat, the water's not flowing on your side, so you can't move the bridges.
Neat.
You need the water to be flowing, so you either need to go and check your other lines, or you need to figure out some way of making it flow back again, because you know you turned them already. You don't know what
I
stopped
thought
them
he
flowing.
came to the middle already.
No. Didn't.
No.
Could we do some rope jiggering to get him over here without having to turn on all the water again?
I'll be honest, you've been really perceptive, and you kind of came up with a couple of the ideas before I ran off to the bathroom due to emergencies. Make a perception check, Uru. Emergencies that look very similar to the bottom of this cistern. Ugh.
Too much information.
You want some more, actually? It kind of split.
No.
Anywho, Uru, you actually understand what's going on. When she turned the valve, you were kind of in the same room with her because you were fighting the automaton. You're pretty sure what happened is the water flow is now going to this side instead of the other side. If you turn the valve on this side, it'll cause the water that's already open on the other side to allow it to go through. So you would tell Darna to open up this valve. Uru, once you do that, Dugat, you would hear the water flowing on your side. You could turn the mechanism, send the bridge back over to you, and then turn the bridge over to you. And then Darna could turn the switch on her side and move the thing over and again.
Right.
And since her rope is already perfect and she didn't remove herself from it, you guys managed to all get yourself down to the door. All right, ready for the fun part?
Absolutely.
You open up the door, and on the other side of the door is a very simple chamber. There is a lever. It does look like it's very similar to the lever you just threw a second ago there, Darna. But then there's an empty room. There are a couple of things there, but there is a large double door at the bottom, at the southern side of the room. In the center of that is a large keyhole. Chi.
Does it look like any of the things we have?
Chi.
Oh,
you remember
stone
Pockets
key.
running around with a stone key.
Yeah.
The key setting that you're looking at is stone, very similar to what Pockets was running around with. And you know for certain that you could open that with no problem if you had that key. My
I'll let
presumption.
everybody know that
We've been playing for about 3.5 hours. That's not a bad stopping point. I forgot to give out experience for the automatons that you destroyed, and also the puzzle that you solved. A heads up, if any one of your party members in this group ever returns to this place, you will be able to figure out the cistern with no problem. The main thing that you were able to do is you've now set it so that the top point, that first one at the very, very top, if you turn it, it will actually move the mechanism to wherever you want it to go. That's why it has 8 points on that spigot, because it allows you to turn it into the 8 positions that are possible. That said, experience is... Sorry for making you wait around for so long just for me to tell you it's over. Unless you want to go the other direction. There is another direction. No? Okay. Do some math. Oh, that's a calculator. Don't look at that.
Who's looking at the calculator?
It popped on my main screen, which is the screen that's broadcasting, so it showed up on Twitch. Not bad. It's actually going to be 1,100 experience for everybody. Not bad at all. And also, everybody make just a perception check real quick. Cool. And Talith, hold on. Talith actually along the way suggests the 2 automatons that were different, their key arms were strange, so she suggests taking those. Because they were able to shift in the key and create a weird energy sword. Necrotic energy sword.
All right, we take
We
those.
take those.
Yep.
Only 2,425 more to go to next.
Fair enough. I'm going to point out one thing too. No one, absolutely no one post a forum post until I have posted a forum post. Because the next one's mine.
Okay.
There were repercussions for this session. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, that said, great job, everybody. And then the treasure chest will be open. I will display the contents of the treasure chests in that forum post that I'm about to get you guys set up for. Okay. Chodies, thank you guys. I love you. Thank you for playing. Beautiful.
Thank you for letting us play.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for the game.
Yeah, thank Nat and well, Chad didn't even seem to come on at all. So, goofy kid. Don't say you're gonna do something if you're not gonna be there.